for the technical difficulties there, but we've made it back for the start of the race. The cars are on the grid, and it is our two championship contenders, Scotty Rankin and Doug Gowans, on row number 1. My teammate Connor has made it as well, buddy. Great to have you here. And although it's going to be a small field, mate, it should be an exciting race.
Yeah, it should be a good one, man. I'm looking forward to it. Scotty's been looking very forward to this race, and he wants this championship, and he's hungry after it. But Doug Gowan's right there, so it should be good to watch.
Oh, well, there's only 15 points separating them in the championship, buddy. So, and they are 1 and 2. So we'll have to see how much they want it. But the rest of, we're missing a couple of drivers tonight, as I did mention earlier. Harry Dodds is at footy training now, so that makes it hard for him to race Wednesday night. And Dylan DeBono, buddy, racing in the real world. He's on a trial for TCRs this week down at Winton. So how cool is that?
Yeah, definitely good. We chatted about it through the week. We do have a lot of real race car drivers in our field normally. So DeBono is definitely up there for race car drivers, you know, and he's definitely good at what he does. And yeah, should see what happens with him at Winton.
Well, that's it. Well, we are inside the last 10 seconds here, so we should be getting the lights anytime soon. This is round 6 of our TCR series, all thanks to DSL Welding Services. Here are the lights, buddy, and I'm going to let you call the start. Go for it.
So here we go. Scotty Rankin ready to go. Green. They're away. Doug gets an awesome launch in the Audi, but I tell you what, Scotty in the little Veloster is absolute out of here. On the right-hand side, coming up to T1, this is where you can get the opportunity to pass. He's got a good little gap there, Scotty does. Doug goes on the outside. This will be a good move for the inside move. Scotty stays on the outside. He might tuck back in. He doesn't have the move. Who's
Matty Gerard. Matty Gerard.
Yeah, Gerard's move. Oh, Brad Wall round. Oh, he's had contact.
Oh,
with Daniel Fritz and Jake Jackson in the background there. Matty Gerard's up into P2 now. They're pulling away massively from the field from Jake Jackson and Greg Johnson. Greg's been doing pretty well. Oh, Scotty trying to make a move up the inside.
Well, I think I heard a driver on the radio there, so we'll see what race control's got to say about that. The front of that car looking a bit battered. We'll go back to the front, and it's the two velocity machines. Matty Gerard. Did Doug hang Scotty out there a little bit? I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, he did.
Too wide. But that's what you do for your teammate, buddy, don't you? Oh, we're going to have a look. Toddy. Oh, no. So that's Greg Johnson's got loose and contact with Brad. And then
can you share screen, Todd?
With Jake as well, but Jake got through that. So Bradley was a bit of a pinball there, buddy.
Yeah, he was there. It was a bit of an interesting situation because Bradley Wall was just a pinball and went back on to Jake Jackson. Thanks, Todd. And yeah, he was just a bit of a pinball there, but it's all good. They're all right. Jake Jackson's not too battered and bruised, but yeah, Daniel Fritz was definitely massively hit there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But Scotty up the inside now, really trying to give him the old 1-2. He's on the outside for the next corner, so this will be interesting. Oh, bit of a slide there.
Oh, it's that bump and race that we talk about in the TCRs, buddy. It's one of the great things about Phillip Island. We saw it in the F3, saw it in the Radicals as well. You can go too wide through there and almost sort of become too wide through the Great Southern Loop as well, mate. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Scotty on the hunt again, just trying to go after Doug Gowan, now losing a lot of time off that. So he'll really need to push down on his car now.
He's got past Matty Gerard there, so so Matty must have had a compromised exit, and Scotty's been able to get past him down there on the straight. So
yeah, he's used that opportunity and went for it. So well done to him.
Well, Scotty stayed out wide there, so yeah, mate, he's got a much better run. Yeah. So show you that multiple lines in these cars. And who's that? Daniel Fritz is a bit deep there. Well, here comes Bradley Wall through now. Oh no!
Gerard's off the track there, just trying to get his Greg Johnson trying to get a move done as well. Matty Gerard, he hasn't got it down up the inside too much. He's just showing the nose a little bit.
Do you think this is tyre related, buddy? Because we've seen that it can take 4 or 5 laps for the tyres really come up the temp in these cars. We're seeing a few little moments up and down the field from everyone, so we'll have to see if race control penalises Greg for his little slide tap in the Great Southern Loop, or racing incident. I know Bradley Wall fell back there, but we can see that the battle up front for the top 4 here, top 5 really, it's pretty close. Only 3 seconds separating the top 5 at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good little battle. Matty Gerard didn't actually lose that much time. He's back in P3, which where he was. So, well, then Matty Gerard getting his car back straightened up. So Scotty Rankin, as we can see on screen here, just really trying to hunt down Doug here. And I've been chatting to Scott, and he's just been trying to perfect his. Jake Jackson going up the inside of Greg there.
Ooh, yep,
good move.
Nice move from Jake.
Really
and
nice.
Like he's got it done too. Yep. Yeah, I think you're right, and also he doesn't want Doug to get too much further ahead, because we've seen that the toe can be quite powerful down that front straight, and through the sort of kink up to the Great Southern Loop. So 1.2, it's probably at the limit of it at the moment, I think.
Yeah. Oh, Matty Gerard having another slide up to the top of the hill. Huge slide. Jake Jackson up the inside.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, he's done well there on the outside now. So Jake will be compromised here. Oh, he hasn't. Matty Gerard's car's very slidey, isn't it? Look at that Audi. Just no tyre under him anymore. Look at that. Great drive from Jake Jackson there on the outside. Great move on the outside. Awesome move. Up P3 now.
It's one of those things we see time and time again as sim racers, Connor, where you have a bit of a moment, you overheat your tyres, and then for the next few corners you're going to struggle. And look at this. That toe coming back into effect. Matty Gerard looking to try and make a move around the outside. Looks like Jake's going to have that done, though.
Jake will be pretty scared knowing that the Audi doesn't have any tyres under him. I would.
Well, good to keep Greg in the punt there, and we see this time and time again in the TCRs that, once cars are battling, then the cars behind get a chance to get right back up on the back and join the battle.
Yep, definitely. Oh, Daniel Fred's off again. Oh,
yeah,
poor Daniel Fred's not having a good one.
And Greg Johnson's not going to be happy, because race control has just come over and issued him with a penalty for that contact on lap 1.
Matty Gerard just done the crisscross on Jake Jackson here in the 1.9 entry. Look at that tyre grip Jake's got onto that car. You can just see out of the corners. He's just planted his foot. Oh, Matty Gerard, this will be an unsafe inside if he loses the car. No, he's kept it. Jake's really giving him a heap of room. Good safe driving here. Look at that. Great pass there.
In the end, buddy, although we have a small field, this is what it's all about. These boys are going to be battling hard for the lead and trying to get the place. So this is the battle for the last podium position. I'm just looking at the timing as well, and Scotty Rankin has got that gap down to half a second now to Doug Gowans. So let's keep an eye on this battle, but with an eye up a bit further ahead down track, because the battle's heating up there too.
Yeah, Matty Gerard trying to have a look at the inside. He's made it successful. We're on the outside for the next corner. Yeah, look at the grip Jake's got, though.
Well, Jake tried to carry more speed around the outside, and then and Matty's gone on the inside and taken less speed through that, but a better exit. So again, we see just that variation in line that you seem to be able to take in the TCR.
Yeah, definitely. It's TCRs are a very weird car in a way that there's so many lines that, if you do your Porsche Cups around here, there's only really one line and a couple of corners you can pass on. But in the TCRs, because they're so small and the wheelbase is very short, they're very twitchy cars. But you can get them, you can get anyone really around any corner because they're so small. So it's good to watch. It's good.
It also is one of those things about Phillip Island too. I think every time we come here, it seems to bring on great racing.
Definitely.
As we know, effectively, had the first Australian Grand Prix here, back in 1928. So obviously has come a long way since then, but still a fan favourite. And I know thousands flocked down there for the motorcycle Grand Prix, and the V8 Supercars as well, for real, and might be something on my bucket list eventually, buddy, too.
Yeah, 100%, and I think it'd be on Jake's bucket list because he'd want to be hunting down Matty Gerard in the little it's not the Veloster, the Hyundai,
Well,
the Elantra. There we go. That's the name. Yeah, the Elantra's. Elantra's the only. Jake's the only one that uses the Elantra. So it's good to see a different car out there.
yeah, it's awesome. I know the
Something
Audi's
different.
the popular one in the
It
field.
is.
Now we better have a look at the battle up front as well, because it is hotting up here. Scotty Rankin now 0.2 seconds behind Douglas Gowan. It looks like he's got a bit of a run here. Just
Not
closing
too
up.
bad.
Well,
Just
it is
slowly.
just round, and it's all up. We're almost halfway through our first race of the evening, Connor. So, you know, try and get it done as soon as you can.
Yeah, definitely get some good points in the first race. Then yeah, get to the second one and yeah, try and blitz something out if you can.
Well, Douglas Gowan holding on here, but you can see Scotty in that tow, and you just see it's able to get closer and closer.
I reckon that
Oh, he's
Velocitor's got a
looking
bit more
inside.
downforce. I reckon, because I'm
Yeah.
just having a look, because that wing on the Veloster is a bit higher, so it's higher than the actual car. So I'm wondering if it's got a bit more downforce in the Audi, because the wing's actually lower than the bonnet and the Audi. So I'm wondering if the Velocitor's got a bit more downforce, because if you watch Scotty here, these mid corner, see he's catching up there, then on the straight, it's got a good exit.
Well,
That's
I think-
interesting.
I was actually looking at it and thought myself that the Audi seems to get a good exit off the corners, but it's the Veloster that carries that good mid corner speed.
Yeah.
So it sort of evens out, and then you add the tow, and you can see Scotty menacing the back of Douglas now. But looks like he's prepared to just sit in there. Though Doug, so far, it's clean as a whistle and straight lines, not agitating the car, buddy. You can't drive it much more straighter around here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you got to drive it straight and not really make the car twitch too much, because yeah, you overheat those tyres, and yeah, the car's pretty much dead. It doesn't want to do much after that, so just keeping it straight. And you know, Scotty on the back of Doug here. You know, Scott's done a lot of laps around here. You know, he's been very successful. He won the last round at Phillip Island, so I think he'd be quite happy just to win another one. But I think he'd be happy at the same time just sit behind Doug for the first race, and the second one, yeah, try and get the win maybe.
I can't see Scotty. Scotty's within touching distance here, buddy, so I can't see him holding back. If he sees a move, he's going to have a go at it, and that's what we love. This is basically P1 and P2 in our championship battling here for P1 and P2 in this race. Remember, guys, it's all thanks to DSL Welding Services. Awesome to have their support here at SRW TV. Also, a big thanks to our round sponsor, is that Warren & Brown Tools.
Indeed
And
it is.
the promo department, our safety car once again, though so far no sign of the safety car. Tyson tells me he's not driving it tonight. So
Handed over the keys, has he?
he did hand over the keys. So well, he'd probably be driving it in the F3s, but we'll see. Because remember, this is our double header tonight, guys. So we've got 2 TCR races, and then we've got a mini enduro race for the F3s tonight at Winton Motor Speedway Raceway. And but it's this action here, buddy. At the moment, looks like it's spread out a little bit backfield. Greg Johnson, that penalty has hurt Greg. That's put him back off the pack. But the battle is still hot up front, and for all the podium positions are currently in contention.
Yeah, and we talk about Greg for a second, and he was having such a good little run there, being up the front. And, yeah, having that penalty, that would really suck for Greg there.
There was the car just slid out on him. I'm sure the contact wasn't intentional. Just pushing hard on lap 1. We can see now that now these tyres are well bedded in. 8 laps into our 20-minute race tonight. The cars seem a lot more stable than they did for that first lap, but they're quite sketchy.
Yeah, it did seem like it was very unstable, same as Manny Gerard's car there too. It was just very unstable, and it was unfortunate for I'm just having a brain fart. But yeah, it's
Bradley Wall. Oh, look at this. Here it is. Scotty Rankin looking to go around the outside. If he can hold around here, he'll have the inside for turn 2. But Doug is, it's good speed there. Doug's moved the car right over, and he's going to try and hold that inside line now. And this is one of those places where we know that the inside line, hugging the inside there through the loop, is not the fastest way around this track. You actually want to get it to sort of slip out a little bit at the top so you can get a better run down the straight. But in a race, you don't want to give up the inside like that, do you, Connor?
Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one for turn 2, the big spoon as we call it, and
I like that.
And it's an odd one. You want to be on the outside for turn 3 to get that inside line for turn 3. I was racing with Sam Mill before in the Porsche Cup, and I forgot how much fun the Porsche Cup is. I haven't touched it forever, but I raced it today with Sam, and yeah, it was really good to see Sam and race with him. Oh, Scotty Rankin having a huge slide. That was huge.
Just powered out of it. That's what you can do in the TCR sometimes. You can just drive through it.
But
you see both of these guys are pushing hard, buddy. But yeah, sorry, mate.
Yeah, all good. Yeah, just bet on that outside. It's the better run, I think. But yeah, keeping that inside, yeah, definitely you can make an opportunity, but there's not much room for error.
Well, look, I know in the V8 Supercar you don't give up the inside at all. And again, hope you can outbrake him down into the hairpin. But look at this, he's catching right up, and this toe is bringing Scotty into it. And Doug has not been able to pull away, and we're starting to see these moves as we're running out of laps. If we don't get a safety car, we're probably looking at another 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 laps.
Yeah, seems like it.
Yeah. Nice slide there from Major Rudd, and he's gone deep.
Yeah, it's unfortunate Matty Gerard went off, but Scotty almost making a move on Doug. Sorry to.
Greg's going to take P4 as well.
Yeah.
As well. But yeah, he's up front, buddy, and these guys are fighting hard, tooth and nail. They'll be both grinning ear to ear, I think.
Yeah, they would be. I think Scotty definitely wants his chance.
Use all the road and a bit of grass. Why not?
Yeah, I was talking to Scott, like I always talk to Scott. It's like he's almost like he's my partner now. Honestly, it's quite funny like that. But yeah, I'm always talking to him, and yeah, he definitely wants this championship. He loves the TCRs, so yeah, definitely want this championship. And Doug would definitely, fighting with Scotty Rankin would just be an awesome thing to do, because I know versing Scotty is an absolute pleasure, and it's awesome to do it.
Whoa.
Doug would definitely be keen to win the championship.
From what I know of Scotty, he's a racer, so it's again, you don't, even though we don't mind those runaway victories where you don't have to fight hard for it, and they're always nice, they can get a bit blasé after a while. You want to be in the hunt, and it takes 2 to tango. Well, it takes 2 to battle for a championship, and that's what's happening at the moment, mate.
Yeah, and the other thing too, there's Greg on screen there, P4. It's good to see Greg up there, like I said, so he'll be chuffed. Matty Dryden now hunting him down, but yeah, definitely. But Brad Wall's there too, isn't he?
Just having a look at Greg's gone off and had a big excursion there as well. So easy to miss. No. He's got out of the way.
Well done, Greg.
That Bradley Wall now. Brad Wall's now going to be in the hunt here, and this is the battle for 5th, I think, at the moment. 4th. So Matty Gerard caught up in that as well, and Greg holding the inside line for Brad at the moment. And I think all these boys are up in the chat, so they'd be egging each other on.
Yeah, definitely they would be. Definitely all chatting together, and that's the other thing too. I mean, obviously Doug and Scott are up there, and I think in a way it's more just like let's get it home. But yeah, at the same time, you did say that Scotty is a racer, and I can confirm it. But
that's it.
He's a smart competitor though. He will go right. all I need to do is get P2, I'll get P2.
Yeah.
I race with him in the IndyCar, and he'll just go, right, I just need to sit in P5, white flag.
Oh, there we go. Barney is waving the white flag, so this is the last lap. This is the last chance for Scotty. Will he send it? That's the question, buddy. At the moment, Doug's got a little gap, and that's probably going to hold him well into T2 here. I mean, it doesn't compromise the exit, but Scotty's going to have that all-important drag down the middle straight here. And that Veloster, it's good in that mid-corner, man. So
Yeah,
get it in.
Absolute flying. Oh, no, hasn't put it up the inside.
Doug went nice and deep then, I think, as well, buddy. So he's driving it within an inch of its life as well. He wants the W.
Yeah, he definitely wants any victory that he can for that little Audi, pushing its little wheels off it.
Only 15 points separating these two, so you know the difference between first and second place. That's the difference between just edging that gap out a little bit more or closing it down. And we're coming down as we come around towards Lukey Heights. Is this where Scotty's going to make the move?
Oh, he almost made it. It almost stuck.
Oh, trying to get an exit. Doug with a little bit of sort of
Yeah,
a bit of wide, but no, he's got it now. Look at that. Great drive out of that corner, and I think the Audi just showing that extra drive, and there's that Douglas Gowan coming around the final corner onto the straight, and he will be our victor in race number 1. Remember, it is our sprint format tonight, just edging Scott Rankin out, and Jake Jackson, your teammate, coming across for a P3 where he didn't have to do much.
No, he did. Oh, I mean, yeah, he had to make a pass.
No, he had a good battle with Matty there, I do say otherwise, because we did have 2 battles going on. Matty tried just running a bit wide there, and that sort of took the fizzle out of that battle he was having with Jake there. Bradley Wall, good recovery for P5. Greg Johnson and Daniel Fritz bringing up the last couple of spots on the grid for this race. So Daniel, that car, has he fixed it? I think he's kept that out there because it looks like it's still got a few dents in it. That front split up.
It's definitely stayed out there and cruising along. But Duncan Cow is your first race, and he's your winner of the first race. So we'll do something a bit different. We'll pull Doug in, and we'll pull Doug in, have a bit of a chat. So just drop him down the green room. Now I'll pull him into the
So
broadcast.
at least a little bit of a warning that we're dragging him down.
Yeah. G'day, Doug. You unbelievable, mate. Holding off Scotty Rankin there. How was that, mate? Oh, I don't think he's there.
Not there.
Oh no.
That's all good, buddy. We brought the rattle guns come down for a chat too, man, so we can drag him in as well. And well, I was going to say we could leave Dougie in here and see if he responds, but
Dougie and I were chatting away, having a good chat to each other about the racecraft, and the time he threw it down the middle of the road coming off of turn 3 into Honda, that was just sick. He just planted the car in the exact perfect spot. I could have,
would have.
well, I mean, I could have dived on it down the inside, but I was never making the corner. So that's and that's the level of respect that Doug and I have got for each other now. It's if Doug's going to place it in an awkward spot, that's fine. I'm happy for him to place it in the awkward spot. It's transition to the crisscross, and it's, you know, the benefit is with racing Doug is you know exactly what he's going to do. You know exactly where he's going to place the car. You know that he's going to drive it clean. And the best part about that is as soon as somebody's driving the car in all those ways, all of a sudden your crisscross, your switchbacks, your over-unders, all of those sort of technical things that a driver who's a little bit on edge and out of control, you can't do those sorts of things around. You've just sort of got to sit there and wait for the mistake. With Doug, you can do those, and it actually makes the racing better.
Are you with us, Doug?
Yeah, definitely, man. We saw Matty Gerard, and instantly he had cold tires coming up to the top of the hill, and it just let go, and we noticed instantly with the tire model of iRacing that the tires just burnt off the car, and that was it. And we saw you come up across the hill and keep your foot in it while you were sliding. Were you afraid of kind of losing that little bit of grip in a way?
I think, to be perfectly honest, with what happened to Matty, was that he probably just picked up a little bit of grass on the inside. Look, everyone's done it there, coming up over Lukey Heights after the hay shed. It's, if you haven't done it, you're not driving Phillip Island hard enough.
Yeah, 100%.
But I mean, for Matty, where he was in terms of pace, he had to get back straight on me straight away. He had to push as hard as he possibly could to be close enough to have a go down the inside into turn number 1 again, or around the outside through turn number 1. So, look, I mean, that's the risk you run, is when you push those margins, sometimes you make those mistakes. So,
yeah, 100%. Doug, you with us, mate?
Yes, mate. Yes. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, good man. You did amazing there, mate. Holding off Scotty Rankin, and obviously you guys knew that you knew that you had a hot crack at it, Scotty behind you, and you were both in the chat at the same time. What was the communication like, man?
Oh, look, it's just about racing fair. Do you remember a movie that came out in the 70s? It was called Jaws. So every time Scotty behind you, all you can hear is the Jaws theme music. Seriously, I mean, he puts the pressure on. He races extremely fair. I try to give him room either side as well. So, if he really wants to go for it, he can. It's just always fantastic racing, Scotty, and I'm really looking forward to the next one, trying to come back through the field.
Yeah, definitely, and coming back through the field would be awesome. Sorry, Cowie, I'm just going to jump in with Jake here before we go green. Go for it, Cowie, Jake.
Jake. Well, it's all good, buddy. I was actually just going to say to Doug that that little extra margin in the points, buddy. It's pretty close between you and Scotty. He's keeping an eye on the ladder.
It sure is, yeah, definitely. But obviously we have the feature race coming up now, which is more points. So the idea would be to try and beat Scotty in this one if I can, or stay as close as I can.
Awesome, buddy. Well, yes, Jake brought you in. Connor's dragged you down here to have a chat to you too, buddy. But P3 in that race, you're having a great battle there for a while with Matty, and he just, we think, put a tyre on the grass or something, and that ended it, buddy.
Yeah, he got a bit tail happy and decided to go visit the sandpit, unfortunately. But yeah, I was too busy trying to fuel save, and then didn't realise it was actually a time race. So this time, I think I'm gonna push ahead and stay with Scotty and the other boys.
Well, you were gutted last week, Jake, that you couldn't actually had a battle with Scotty and all the boys up the front. So you're looking forward to this next race?
Well, yeah, definitely. He started behind me, so we're going to make that car super wide just for Scott.
Keep up. All right, you're getting sent.
Well, we're going to have to throw all you guys back into where you came from. So go back where you came from, and we'll see what happens next race.
Yeah, send us back where we came from.
I was expecting an interview after that first race.
Ladies and gentlemen,
good luck, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jake Jackson, Doug, and Scotty Rankin. How's that, Cow? Having interviews with those guys, it's just a good chat, isn't it?
Well, that's it, man. And I mean, look, we know it's a bit smaller field tonight, so we can bring the boys down and maybe make it a little bit more intimate.
Yeah, 100%. And it's good to know the guys, and definitely, I know two of them, but yeah, definitely Doug, no idea. So yeah, it's good to chat to
trying
Doug
to drag
and,
Doug back up into his room.
Oh no!
I think he was in the general chat. But we've got him up there. Thanks, Nathan and the Kittens boys. Greg out there. Nathan is racing Sprintcars tonight, so that's why he's not with us in the TCRs as well. Alright, buddy, we're ready to go. Lights on. Race number 2.
and here we go.
Daniel Fretz leading the field. This will be good. Oh, Daniel Fretz. Greg's got away. An awesome jump. Daniel Fretz has dropped back. Brad Wall's got a good jump. Matty Gerard's up the front too, so you'll be happy about that in the Cameron's car. On the outside, Matty Gerard trying to get Brad Wall. Jake Jackson trying to get a bit of a dive as well. Daniel Fretz has really jumped back there.
Yeah, that hurt Daniel there with a big slow run off the line. Scotty, looks like Scotty Rankin and Doug Gowan didn't get a great start either. But those boys are going to love this. They're going to have to make their way through the field. Oh, that's Jake going a bit wide. Is it? Oh, trying 3 wide there. Bradley Wall snuck through.
was crazy. Jake off in the dirt, 3 wide on the straight.
Pushing hard, mate. This is lap 1. Remember, cold tyres again. Is that Doug making a move up the inside of Jake?
Yep, that's Doug. Yeah, yep.
Oh, this is what we love to see. You know, we've got the quicker guys at the back for that reverse grid start, and it does tend to spice things up. And you know, so far everyone's driving really well on these cold tyres, and you know, pushing hard. But so far, so good.
Yeah, it seems like that. Mate, Gerard's probably going to be worrying about those tyres. You know, let the tyres let him go in the last race, so he's probably feathering that.
Jake had Scotty there. I think he's got past Douglas Gowans, and so I don't know if Douglas had a mistake there on the exit, but Jake's back in front of him. We can see Daniel Fritz now putting the pressure on Bradley Wall.
Yeah, Daniel Fritz on the... Oh! That was so close!
Oh.
Fritz on the outside. Scotty's got an awesome run on the outside. This will be interesting. If I was Jake, I'd follow Scott.
That's cost Daniel Fritz a lot of speed here. You can see Jake's now bottled up on him. A little bit of bump running there. Doug trying to go the inside. The shuffling cards out there on a racetrack, buddy.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's like playing poker. Look at Jake not flinching. Oh! Keep in mind, Jake, I do race with Scott, so don't pee him off. On the outside, Jake getting an awesome run. He knows his stuff in the old TCR, and he's off it.
He ran there last lap.
Oh, what are you doing, Jake?
Is that a new line to take or something?
Yeah, it must be a 1-9 line. Oh, look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, 1-9 trying
look at up the inside here. Daniel Fritz trying to go up the inside of Greg Johnson. Just to make himself, and Greg has... Oh, look at that. These guys are battling hard.
Daniel Fritz had a bit of a bump with Scott there. That was interesting.
Oh, Greg's going deep, and that's going to give it to Scotty Rankin up the inside. So things are just changing, and good battles, mate. Good battles.
I was going to say, yeah, it's awesome battles, and Doug and Jake wouldn't be liking this one bit because Scotty's just ran away. He's off the track.
Oh, so all that hard work, and Scotty's going to have to catch that back up. Good thing is this is a 30-minute race, so he will have time, and it doesn't look like he's lost too much ground.
Oh, he's right at the back now. So that really sucks for Scotty there.
It's going to happen again. Well, it's the way things are. Oh, he's got a few seconds there, but he's recovered fairly well there, so he's not too far off the back, and we know Scotty's definitely got pace in this car, so hopefully it won't take him too much longer to catch back up onto the back.
It won't take him much longer at all. We know Scotty's been quick in the TCRs recently in the velocity.
The danger is, though, you know this yourself, Connor, you know, when something like that happens, you can tend to push a little bit too hard. You've got to moderate yourself. And perhaps that's where, you know, you're talking about him being a smart racer. He realises that this is not just about this race. It's the championship he's got in mind as well.
Yeah, 100%, but he knows Doug... Oh, meanwhile, Doug's on the outside.
Johnson making a move here, and he's going to have the inside run into the next corner, buddy.
Yeah, Doug might have this. Yeah, he's cut the line off. Well done, Doug. He's just fed the line
Greg,
there.
I think.
Yeah,
Greg on Doug, sorry.
Yeah, Greg on Doug.
Edge of that to get Daniel in that little. So again, it's like shuffling cards. Greg's gone wide again there, and that's given Doug a run back on him. So just maybe the few different lines and the different ways that the different cars handle the corners, their entry and exit. And we'll see Greg. Oh, left the door open, and Doug just took that. Oh, Greg's gone wide onto the grass. Big slide.
Oh, what's the re-entry going to be like? Oh! Oh! Smashed right into Doug. That was a huge contact.
I think Greg was a total passenger there.
Doug couldn't do anything. Doug couldn't go anywhere. Nah, Greg couldn't go anywhere anyway.
Oh, look at it. So I don't know if that was a bump there that sent Greg off, but
Nah,
you can
I
see
think
here
it might have been understeer, but we'll see what happens.
Well, he's trying to drive through this.
Yeah, what can you do, eh?
Yeah, and just straight into the path, and that's killed Douglas Gowan's car, and this is our championship leader. And that car is going to be looking a bit wounded, so we might see an early
Jake's off too.
to repair it. Jake's off as well, no.
Scotty's just passed Jake. Jake's just flashing his lights at Scotty. Surprised they're not in the same chat, to be honest. But yeah, it's
Yeah, so Douglas has gone into the pit to Doug Gowan has gone into the pit to repair that car. So that's brought him out about 40 seconds behind the leader. But he will have clear running, and unless we have a safety car.
Jake almost having contact with Scotty there.
Well, that's good. And but yeah, so if we don't have a safety car, these guys will need to put in about 9 or 10 litres. They were telling me earlier there, Connor. So there still is that pit stop opportunity. So I wouldn't write Doug off just yet.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. If Doug can put enough fuel in, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, is it? Scotty on the back of Danny Fred's now.
Yeah, and if a safety car does come out, it bunches it back up for him. So
yeah, 100%.
So I don't think it's as dire as we think it might be. We also know that, you know, these guys aren't. Oh, Fritzy's got it loose there. He's caught it. I don't know if he slapped the wall there, but he caught it. But wow. And Scotty Rattlegun Rankin will just say thank you. I will take that spot. Thank you.
Yeah, opportunity has been granted by Scotty. So up to the P3 Scotty is now. Oh, Jake's off again. Something's going on with Jake.
Well, you can see Fritzy struggling with the rear of that car too as well. So I think it's just like that. These guys are carrying a lot of speed into the corners. I think it might be just struggling to that understeer, buddy, or where the you try to power out and the TCR just wants to go straight.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you get the power down on this thing, it doesn't like to turn at all. So if you're sliding, it's kind of a bit of a two-way street. You can, go off the track trying to save your car, or do something else.
Well, I know that the drivers have talked about the technique of sort of how you've got to almost sort of tap the brake mid-corner to get it to step out a little bit for you at certain tracks. So I'm wondering if it's a combination of that we're seeing out there, the different ways the cars are behaving, that heavy understeer when you're trying to power through, and then that little flick sort of mid-corner where the guys are deliberately trying to get it to step out so they can get the drive out of the corner.
Yeah, I mean, I've driven quite a bit of the TCR, and it's a bit of it's probably one of the weirdest cars to drive besides like an Indy car. But that's why Scott drives weird cars. But Greg Johnson just getting black flag, causing a collision at re-entry lap 1.
Yeah, well, his excursion over the Grasslicky Heights. Unfortunately, Greg's been on the pace tonight, but he's been involved in a couple of incidents and a couple of drive-throughs. Have really hurt his race results tonight.
$52 seconds in the pits. It took Doug to get back out there.
That would have been his fuel stop. I would say that Doug probably took tyres. If he stayed in the pit that long, he forgot to turn his tyres off, I reckon, because we do have the fast repair available, and normally a pit stop for 9 or 10 litres of fuel wouldn't take 50 seconds.
No, no way.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I think Doug's maybe thrown a little bit of a gamble, gone for tyres, and thought if there's a safety car later on, I'm going to have fresh rubber.
Yeah, I mean, 100%, and it is a good strategy. I mean, it could definitely work.
Or we might be giving him a bit too much credit and he just forgot to turn off his tyres. We might have to ask him if he can pull this result out of the bag, because at the moment, this is exactly what championship contender Scotty Rankin is looking for. Because there's a whole bunch of points that he's going to get to catch up on Doug if things stay as they are.
Yeah, and definitely Doug will, if Doug can walk away with some solid points tonight, he doesn't need to finish top 3, but if he can just, slowly get up there, it'd be good.
Well, you're right.
Greg Johnson just having an incident with race control, just a bit of banter over the radio.
Yeah, unfortunate. Oh, no, he's pitted. He stopped in his box and pitted, so he hasn't actually served the drive-through, so that's what they're telling him. So he's got his pit stop done now, but he's still going to have to serve that drive-through, so unfortunate, but that's the way the cookie crumbles, and, unfortunately, he's hurt Doug Gowans, and generally, You do something and it hurts someone else, race control are going to look at it and they deem you at fault or the primary responsible party, then you're going to cop a penalty.
Yeah, and that's it.
Well, it enables this close racing when we know that guys aren't going to make those big dives. Scotty talked about it in the interviews there, where he could have made a dive, but he would have had no chance of making the corner. And if he hadn't done that, it would have been up to Doug to avoid him, or there would have been contact. So Scotty decided not to do it.
Yeah, but unfortunate. But anyway, we'll get back to the action and talk about that later for a bit of insight. But yeah, Brad Wall on the back of Matty Gerard now. But yeah, it's quite interesting to talk about that and with pit stops and everything else. But anyway, Brad Wall on the back. It's actually a couple of Elantras tonight. Am I mistaken? It's about 3. So the Elantra on the back of the Audi. So 2 manufacturers here going at it. The SRW entry and the Chemis entry. So on the straight now. Matty Gerard just pulling away slightly, but Brad Wall's in the toe a little bit. So
Yeah,
it's
he's gonna
Brad Wall.
have to look up there inside here into T1. Yep. Oh, look at that.
Oh, he's had a huge slide.
I think they both thought that they were closer to each other than they actually were, because it looked like both of them reacted then. Like Brad went one way and Matty went the other.
I was waiting for the bang bang. It was just like, oh, that was close racing.
It looked like they just They both reacted, but there was some space in between, so maybe there was a bit of net code. We don't know.
Maybe could have been.
But this is great stuff here, and Matty Gerard and Bradley Wall, these boys, battling for the minors in the previous race, and now right up the front for this one. And I'm sure the W is completely on the radar for these two.
Yeah, definitely could be for Brad Wall and Matty Gerard. Matty Gerard would be very happy, but Brad Wall's definitely not a slow guy, but I definitely reckon Steven Sinkovich would be quite happy if Brad Wall got this.
Well, Brad did remind me that he had a pretty good week last week with 2 podiums last week, so he was pretty chuffed with his results last week, and now he's up at the front again battling hard. It's pretty good though. Toddy did just point out, have a look in the back there, and there seems to be a little green car trying to make its way onto the back of this battle, so it's not over yet, mate. 17 minutes still remaining of this race, and the battles are still out there to be had.
Yeah. Not far at all. Scotty Rankin just pulled out another second of Brad Wall and Matty Gerard, so he's definitely on the hunt here. But I think the Matty Gerard and Brad Wall have kind of recognised that, because they're not fighting as much as they were. So,
I wonder if there's a little bit of chat between them going,
oh, there would
we
be.
do not want the rattle gun getting in on this action. Let's keep it to ourselves. Though, in saying that, Brad now having just another wee little look up the inside. No, slots in behind.
The issue with Brad doing that, or any competitors just like having a look, is it compromises his exit. So I reckon if he didn't do that, he would have had a bit of a better exit there. But it is what it is. But
yeah. But don't you also need to sort of sometimes play those games to make the guy in front of you think you might make a move there?
I think you've got a very valuable point, Matty Gerard. Tyres are not looking good. Bradley Wall, this is his good opportunity. Oh, Matthew Gerard giving me heaps of room. It's good to see. But 2 cars width. Good. Brad Wall just slightly backs out of it, so there's no contact.
That's interesting there, though, isn't it? So if you can keep it around the outside and get on the power, I mean, you're going to have the inside for T2, and it's almost like that car that went up the inside at Lukey Heights has got to yield a little bit.
Yeah, well, I've done it in the supercar before, and yeah, it definitely worked. Definitely worked. Good
Brad's just using all the track and a bit of grass there, and he's got another toe here and a run up the inside into T1. Oh, sweeping around the outside. This is good close racing, man.
That was really close.
Well, who says a small field can't be exciting? Look at this. These boys are... We saw it in race 1 between Doug and Scotty battling for the whole 20 minutes. And it's Matty and Brad here that are also battling hard up front.
Yeah, and I mean, you talk about a small field, but you got to think like these guys are so high caliber in SRW. You know, it's kind of a no-brainer that these guys are quick and put it on a good show. So yeah, it's good to see.
Well, they're all in the championship hunt too, buddy.
They
So
are.
you'd think that everyone here tonight is thinking, these are points, boys. These are points. To the championship. Now, I know there's no sheep station on the championship here at SRW, but you do get a nice shiny trophy that's going to sit up on your wall. So, you know, it has
I
meaning.
wouldn't mind a trophy.
Yeah, that's right,
trophy.
man.
Commentary trophy. Come on, cough it up. Yeah.
Well, I've got a few microphones, man, but I don't think I want to encase them in gold or anything for you.
I wouldn't mind one. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind one. But yeah, my trophy cabinet's getting bigger and bigger. But
awesome. Well, okay, well, there we've got the first mover for a pit. So Matty Gerard deciding to go into the pits. So we'll see if Brad decides to stay out. It looks like Matty pretty much splitting the race in half. But we do know that tyres are generally not on the menu. So
yeah, the issue with pitting early in these TCRs is now he's going to have more fuel and the car's going to be slower and you're not getting tyres. So the heavier the car is, the more weight you're putting on the tyres. So it's a bit of a risky move to do this. I'd rather drop all the fuel out, box late, and, you know, have less fuel to the end, really. But hey, different strategies.
Do the tyres get a little bit of a reprieve, even though you're not changing them? That sort of 10 or 20 seconds in the pit stop is going to give the tyres a bit of reprieve, give them a chance to cool down a bit. So, you know, you come out of the pits and you're probably going to have grip again.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. You'll have that tiny bit of extra grip there, but I don't think it's going to, yeah. I don't know. Phillip Island's such a cheese grater when it comes to tyres. I've done so many races around here. I did a 250-kilometre race around here in the Supercar, and I tell you what, it was the hardest thing I've ever done. The car would just wiggle. It would wiggle across the top here. It would wiggle going down the hill. It just do everything. And doing that kind of stuff, you know, it really shows Phillip Island's true nature of just how much a tyre killer it is.
Oh, I might have blown up the engine twice in a Phillip Island 500 in the old 2014 VX Supercars.
I was there.
But yeah, no, it's an awesome place. I do love driving here. Wouldn't say it's my quickest track, but yeah, it's so much fun. And as we see time and time again, it just is one of those tracks that induces good close racing. And in the end, that's what we want to see. I'm nowhere near as quick as you, Connor. So I'm not going to be able to race for podiums and wins. But if you're behind me, I'm going to make it difficult to get past. And if I can hold you up for a bit, I'm going to enjoy that.
Yeah, exactly. I've definitely noticed that over the year or two. But yeah, definitely it's such a great track and I love it. F3s and Porsche Cups are really fun around here. Brad Wall just coming out of the pits. That's
right. So this will show. So they must have been getting right near the end of the pit window.
Hang on, Matty Gerard's just gapped him. Hang on, Matty Gerard's just gapped him massively. Hang on, so there's Matty Gerard there. Where's Brad Wall?
5 seconds behind him.
Wow.
So undercut. Is that just a wall? Is it undercut or a better pit entry? A bit more aggressive?
Could be. 5
seconds. That's a long time. Look at the pit stop time. Oh, hang on. No, Bradley Wall had 15-second stop compared to to Matty Gerard's 9-second stop. So there's the difference. Did Brad forget to turn the tyre off, or did he just maybe put too much fuel in?
That will affect Brad if he's got one tyre. The car's just going to absolutely be horse poo.
Well, so, I think it's isn't it about 10 seconds for a tyre? So maybe it's not that. Maybe he just filled the car right up instead of 10 litres, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Well, there's 10 minutes to go, so what? Minute and 43. You don't need much fuel, you only need a couple of laps, so yeah, I don't know.
When I was talking to the guys earlier, they said it was probably, if it stayed green, maybe 9 or 10 litres you would need in the car.
Yep.
So, you know, that when you know, about a second a litre for fuel thereabouts. So, you know, 9-10 second stop is about what we're expecting. So 15-second stop, it maybe, you know, forgot to turn crew chief on and relies on crew chief to do the auto fuel. Could be something like that. So I think the tank was limited to 35% for these guys tonight. So I think that's probably as good an explanation as any anyway. All right, so it is Scott Rattlegun Rankin with a 20-second lead at the moment. He is definitely playing the game you spoke about, Connor, running the tank absolutely dry.
Scotty and I think very alike, so I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked at all.
Well, it's a good, smart strategy. I mean, you know, in Douglas's case, well, he had damage, but maybe he made the mistake of forgetting to turn his tyres off.
Yeah.
Because you look at that now, he's still 30 seconds behind P5. So with those tyres off and a 10-second stop instead of a 50-second stop, he's right in the hunt again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
Like,
got ramifications for the championship. Though, because we only have a small field, the points difference is not going to be as great as it could have been with a big 20-car field.
yeah, I mean, 20 cars would have been awesome, but everyone's, you know, some going racing and some are just having a bit of a night off, which is perfectly fine.
Scotty is continuing out here, so he's getting some good fuel economy out of this car. Toddy's, you think he's short shifting there, Toddy? That could be a good thing. I don't know how much of a save you can do in these things, but again, he's just trying to run longer. What's his lap times been like of late? He's did a 138.7 last lap. 138.6 is his best so far in the race. So he's pushing.
He's only 2/10 off his quali run, so no fuel save.
Yeah, no, he's in the zone.
Probably got
He's
clutch,
pushing hard.
maybe. You can
I don't
clutch in
think
the
so.
Veloster, because I've done it before, but yeah, I know in the Audi you
Those
can't
lap
clutch.
times. Those lap times, he's not doing it, buddy. I don't think.
Oh,
He's just
100%.
pushing hard here. This is clear running. At the moment, it's fairly spread out behind him. There's no one really benefiting from a tow, so it's all sort of based on your own merit speed here. You can see that Bradley Wall is still about 5 seconds, 4.5 behind Matty Gerard, so we may
Oh,
have
wow.
a little bit of ground.
Hang on. Scotty's going to jump massively. Matty Gerard just did a 39.5. Scott did a 38.7. So that's almost a second.
Well, we look at the pit lane transit time has been between about 36 and 40 seconds for the guys. So, and I know you can't just take that time off because the cars are travelling down pit straight, but you would think that it's probably going to cost at least 25 to 30 seconds, and we're about to find out. So we'll see where Scotty Rattlegun Rankin comes out in the mix as he has run the tank dry. We're inside the last 7 minutes of this race, buddy. Here we go. So Matty Girardi's going to keep the place. It's going to be whether or not Bradley Wall comes out behind or Scotty comes out in front of him, but Bradley's got the pace. Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
Scotty just
I didn't
gets
know.
out of the way.
Yeah, wow. Well done to those boys for jumping Scotty there. But yeah, well, look at Matty Gerard, huge gap. But yeah, wow. I thought Scotty would have been a bit further up, just been looking at lap times. But yeah,
Well,
Matty Gerard there.
They're so close at the moment, Connor. And again, you know, Scotty had to start from right near the back of this race, and we saw early on lap 1 he sort of got caught in behind cars for a few laps there at the start, but already now putting the pressure on Bradley Wall,
Got by him. Look at that.
getting it done clearly, easily. But Brad didn't put up much of a fight there, but I think Scotty had him dead to rights there, so you know, there's no point fighting a losing battle. You're only going to create an incident.
Oh, you know, you want to put a bit of a fight up, but yeah, I think Brad Walls just went, I'll follow you, mate. Get a bit of a pace out of it. Obviously being...
I think you're right too. Good call, man, because Matty skipped ahead and maybe he's thinking Scotty's a bit quicker than me. He might be able to drag me up onto the back. But they are running out of time, mate. We're inside the last 5 minutes of our race tonight. Remember, this is part 1 of our doubleheader tonight, guys. The TCRs will be followed by a 60-minute race for the F3s at Winton International Raceway. All of this brought to you thanks to DSL Welding Services, our series our round sponsor Warren and Brown Tools, the promo department safety car sponsor, and our other partners and sponsors out there, Racecraft, Toyo Sim, Dragon RC, and Melbourne Equipment Court. Thanks to all of you. You are what enable us to bring this broadcast and sit here and talk crap about these cars, Connor.
Yeah, and yeah, it's looks like Matty Gerard's on a bit of a pulling away a little bit, but it looks like Scotty's definitely got the pace as well. But it looks like I'm just noticing with the pit stop.
That's a second. Scotty's taken a second out of him that lap, so
I think he's still trying to warm up. I think he's still trying to warm up a bit of the tyres because yeah, coming out of the yeah, I think Scott's not at optimal temperature yet, but we'll see what happens because yeah, he's still just a little bit cautious. So I'm just hearing his throttle a bit of back and forth, but yeah, Matty Gerard, if he keeps it straight, I reckon he's on for a win here. That'd be good to see.
That time is coming down, mate. This is the mid part of that track. Scotty took another sort of 0.4 out of him there, so this could be on. There's only about 3 minutes left, so we're talking maybe 3 laps. So, yeah, hasn't got a lot of time to get it, but he's showing pace, buddy. This could be an exciting finish. Look at it.
Yeah, I mean, it could be 2.
Closing.
Could be 2. Could be 1. Not 1, but yeah, 2 to 3. I reckon we'll get 2 out of this. So minute 38, minute 39 looks like. So yeah, probably 2 minutes.
Well, generally doesn't it? I'm not sure what it's like with tracks under the 2 minutes. It used to be, like on Bathurst, you get inside the last 2 minutes, there'll be one more lap.
Yeah, that's what it's.
So I think perhaps this one, next lap, we'll have to see if Barney pulls out that white flag and waves it, but the gap is now down to 2.3 seconds, so this is a charge from the rattle gun. He took 2.2 seconds out of Matty Gerard last lap, so has Matty used up those tyres and hasn't got much left? Has Scotty, that late pit, light car, has it looked after his tyres a bit better, buddy?
Yeah, it would do. It definitely would. And that's what Scotty's done, is try to went late, get the tyres very good in that optimal window for the last stint so he can push. So yeah, Scotty's definitely played it well. You look at Brad Waller's dropped off Scotty because he did that early stop and Scotty's went very late. So it's almost an SVG move, so yeah, well done to him.
Well, as I said to you, I thought maybe, because these tyres are getting worked pretty hard for the whole race, and then just even though you're not changing the tyres, that little bit of a stop in the pit bay just gives them maybe a little bit, kills them down, gives them a bit of life, and you get back to having that, good grip for the next few laps, and Scotty's just been able to make it work. We can see here now, so he's taken a second or more out of Matty Gerard the last couple of laps, but now that gap, that time is coming down. It's only 2.1.
See if Barney waves white flag here. Yep, there's white flag.
Okay, so this is it. So 2.2 seconds separating it. It's all there for Scotty Rattlegun to do, but I don't know. I think it's too far, mate. I think you're right.
I think it is too. I mean, he's pulled. He's almost pulled.
He's pushing hard. That's a mistake?
Oh, he's off the road. It's all went bad. Hang on.
What?
Scotty's off the road.
Yeah, he's got a nice little window there, but just pushing hard. Just tried to carry too much speed through T1 there, I think. Caught a bit of grass on the inside and then come back onto the road and slid out to the outside. So it's cost him a place.
Yeah,
that's a few points, man. He might be hitting his knee there for that little mistake, but Bradley Wall, he's going to say thank you very much, Mr. Rattlegun. I'll have P2. And Matty Gerard, that was the last vestige of that last lap assault that was happening in his mirror. And it's all clear sailing now, so just break that little bit earlier. Try not to get yourself out of your rhythm, but just minimise your risks.
Yeah, definitely on that last lap, you're coming home and you're just like, right, let's not push it. So Matty Gerard,
throttle. Just ease up the aggressiveness on those inputs. I think, as we've said, it's very easy to switch right off and then lose your focus and make a big mistake. But Matty Gerard has certainly not done that. He's come around the last corner, and he will pick up victory in race number 2 for Velocity Sim Sports there. Good work for Matty. And Bradley Wall coming away with P2, and Scotty Rattlegun Rankin recovering for P3. He was so close to being an exciting finish, buddy. Just wasn't to be.
Yeah, it was, and he'll be gutted. He definitely will, and I mean, you got to just take it with the good, with the bad, you know, for how much time he bring
Good
up.
recovery.
Yeah, good recovery, and coming through the back's definitely not easy. Done it a heap of times, and yeah, it's not easy at all.
That's it. It was also a good recovery for Daniel Fritz too, picking up P4 in our feature race tonight. Jake Jackson finishing in 5th. Jake, I don't know, did he do a lot of practice around here, Connor, or is this just more of a jump in and have a go night for Jake?
Mate, every night's for Jake is just to jump in and have a bit of fun. Jake's one of those guys who he'll just jump in and have a bit of fun. So, yeah, he's just one of those guys, but well done to him, you know, definitely coming away with the, you know, you come with the good and the bad, and like I said about Scotty, but yeah, he's just one of those guys who will jump in and have a bit of fun. So, yeah.
Well, that's it, mate. And well, I'm sure he enjoyed himself out there, but just you know, found himself off the back of the battles there. Well, there is the results of our feature race there for you all. Matty Gerard taking away the victory in race number 2. It was a P4 in race number 1. Bradley Wall with a P2 in this race. I think that the round winner is probably going to be Scotty Rattlegun Rankin once again with a P2 and a P3. But Doug recovered to 6th spot, buddy, so hopefully not too many points lost tonight, and he should retain the lead of the championship going into round number 7 next week.
Yeah, I mean, I think Scotty's going to kind of come away with this with good points. You know, he knows Doug that was in the pits, and he'd be like, well, it's good points, it's nothing wrong. So Scotty just being a bit of a show off there. But,
well, they're all coming in for the photo op by the looks of it. So we've got a few of the boys up there in the broadcast.
Yeah, we might just, I think Race Control put in, I think he just,
Well,
sorry, I'm just looking at something.
Yeah, well, Bradley Wall and Scotty Rattlegun are chatting away at the moment to themselves. But a great first race here tonight. I know it was only a small field, guys, but plenty of exciting racing there. And even coming into the second race tonight with a lap to go, the Rattlegun was on the charge, just pushing a little bit too hard. So, but gave us some excitement anyway there. But we've got Matty Gerard in the green room. Do we want to bring our round 2 winner in straight away?
So, Doug's our P3 in this round, so might as well just bring Gerard in here because he's the only one.
Yeah, well, let's have a chat to Matty about this race.
Hey, Gerard, mate, you come home with a P1. That's never bad, is it?
Oh, mate, I'm over the moon.
So,
really over the moon.
So obviously you've joined Velocity. I think that's what the name is, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
and obviously you came to the team and pretty fresh to the team, and obviously you came, you know, I watch you in the GT3s and, you know, obviously the TCRs as well, man. And coming to the new team, you must be you must have learnt quite a bit from these guys coming home with a P1 and a P4.
Yeah, 100%, man. Both Dylan and Doug have been really good, helping me out, especially with practice this week, just showing me a few tips, and yeah, definitely paid off, eh?
Well,
Yeah,
we noticed that you didn't try to take that grassy line that you were taking a couple of times in race number 1, buddy.
Yeah,
Kept it on the asphalt this time, and
yeah, tried my best to. I mean, I got a bit nervous there, I think, on second or third to last lap. I went a bit sideways. And
so we saw Scotty took a big chunk of time out of you there. So were you doing a bit of mirror watching, buddy? Was that the problem?
Oh, yeah, I was. I was just watching the relatives because I knew who was behind me, and I knew both the boys were coming fast, and so it was just keep going, just keep going, just keep going, and hope they muck up. And sure enough, Scotty did this time, and yeah, it was all mine.
Well,
Yeah,
buddy,
I mean-
I think. Sorry, go Connor.
Sorry. I was just going to say, man, like, obviously coming home with the P1, it must show the team that you've definitely got pace in the little buzz boxes. I'll call them the vacuum cleaners. Yeah, the team must be pretty proud of you, man.
Yeah, well, here's hoping. Look, I won't take away from the fact that there were a few fast guys that weren't there tonight. And so, I mean, it sort of felt into my hands a little bit. But, still to beat the likes of Scotty, hey, I'll take that all day. Yes, he's definitely faster. You could see that from in both races. In fact, he was just peeling off from everyone. So, bad luck for him on that second race. He would have definitely caught me, I think. But yeah, look, I'm happy. It was awesome race, both races.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I might as well finish it up because P2 tonight, you must be pretty wrapped up. And thank all your sponsors and your family and everything, mate. Go for it.
Yeah, mate. So thanks to Velocity Sim Lab, Original Digital Design, JS Sim Shots, and Here to Race YouTube channel, and finally Speedhouse.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
obviously all the boys with their help this week.
Definitely, man. Coming home with P2 tonight. Matty Gerard in the 169, almost my number, mate. So change it up. And and well done to you, man. And have a good one, mate.
No, awesome, boys. Thanks very much.
So easy, mate. Right, we've got to bring in Doug, shall we, Cowie? Let's go. Yeah.
There he is. Well, Doug, not the Ray you wanted race 2 to sort of pan out there, buddy, but
I think.
but we've got to ask you, man.
Yep.
50 seconds in the pits. Did you forget to turn your tyres off?
Oh, I did, mate. Very big rookie mistake.
Oh no!
Yep,
So,
completely own up to it. Hands up.
because we thought, even though that happened to you, it was, you can't do much when the car suddenly appears on the racetrack in front of you, sideways.
Oh, mate, honestly, seriously, that thing that was there in the blink of an eye, I had no idea. It actually gave me a bit of a fright, to be honest.
well, if you're in VR, it'd be rather scary too, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I'm not VR, I'm triplets, but yeah, he just come flying out of nowhere. It looked like he was doing 100 kilometres an hour, to be honest.
Yeah, but so, pitting and fixing the car with your fast repair, if you hadn't had those tyres, you probably would have been right in the mix there near the end.
I know, yep. I mean, because I was still right there with everyone when the incident happened, and it was right there at pit entrance pretty well. So yeah, I could certainly have made a few more positions, but yep, like I said, rookie mistake. Got to untick the tyres and pay the consequences.
I suppose the one caveat of tonight for you, buddy, is there was only a few cars out there, so the point differential is not too bad.
I was thinking about that. Yeah, I thought, thank God for that. Yeah. It is. Scotty was just saying that he thinks that we're only about 3 or 4 points separating us now, coming into the final 3 rounds. So with, Sandown coming out, which is a cracker track for Scotty, and he's fantastic there. And what's after that? Winton. And then we're off to Bathurst, so it's going to be close.
So you maybe got to buy Matty a drink, because he might have kept you sort of in front of the championship at the moment with his win in that race number 2.
Oh, I know, absolutely. We did a bit of practice together throughout the week, and yeah, he was getting on top of it quite nicely. So very happy he got the win, and big congrats to him.
Awesome, buddy. Well, you recovered to finish, was it P3 for the night, Connor?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah, P3, mate. And in a way, are you glad you came home P3? Or are you a bit down in a way, man?
Oh, no, not down. That's racing. That's the way it goes. Nothing you can really do about it. I was actually pleasantly surprised. I didn't think that I would be, anywhere up near the podium finishes for the round. So yeah, when they announced and said, Doug to P3, I thought, well, that's surprising.
Definitely coming home P1 in the first race, man. Would have definitely helped you there. Look at that photo. That looks awesome. But definitely coming home with P1, then finishing P6. Well done to you, man, in the 07 Velocity sim racing vehicle. Who would you like to thank, mate?
Yeah, thanks, mate. Obviously, Steve from Velocity. They put out some cracking setups, and I love driving their setups. YouTube, Here to Race, Speed House, Big congrats to Scotty on the round win. He's tightened it right up, so it will be fun for the next 3 rounds.
Yeah, thanks, man. Have a good one, mate, and we'll see you next round at Sandown. And you might have to play around with that setup to get the Audi as soft as possible.
Well, you can't play around with the setup apart from the brake bias. So, I've either got to try and learn how to bounce over those curbs and handle how the Audi reacts. But you just lose speed by doing it. I've tried it. I've tried to attack it like Scotty does, but you're losing half a second a lap, and you just can't do it, So the best way to maintain any type of speed is to just kiss the curbs very lightly and stay off them as much as you can.
Yeah, and obviously, probably should wrap this up and get to Scotty, but obviously we see it in real life. The Velocity's strong, but at the same time, the Audi's mega strong at like Bathurst tracks like that. With not too many curbs, just rises and just straights.
Yeah, really looking forward to that one. It's a magnificent track, and it's going to be fun to get out there and race these cars around there as close as we can.
Definitely. Well,
I was going to say thanks to you guys for tonight, and to SRW, fantastic job as always.
Thanks, man. The 07 Audi Velocity sim racing car, mate. Well done in P3.
Cheers, guys.
Too easy, mate. We'll move on to Scotty Cowie.
There he is. Mr. Ralligan. Just couldn't catch him at the end there, mate. Pushing super hard, I saw.
Oh, yeah, I mean, cracking race, though. Like, how good was the opening stanza of that second race, Doug, Jake, and I all squabbling away for position at the same, trying to cut through a few of the guys. Like, everyone up in chat was just over the moon. Everyone was going on about how good the racing was. It was so tough and so tight. Greg's defense was stout. Fritzy was doing a phenomenal job as well. It was just awesome. Everyone was doing a solid job, and then, we were all making mistakes. And unfortunately for Doug, that's the way she goes sometimes.
Yeah, well, it's a bit unlucky when, car goes off at Lukey, but you talked about it in race number 1, mate, that you haven't done it. You're not pushing hard enough. Well, we saw it.
Yeah, look, I mean, caught the car going off. To be perfectly honest, to come away with a round victory tonight, given the amount of mistakes I've made, there's a lot of work that's got to be done there. It was very, very quick, so I'll take 2 wins from Phillip Island from the season and be happy with them, but there's still work that's got to be done. We'll see the return of Dylan Tabono next week. We'll see the return of... Doddsy won't be back for the rest of the season, but we'll see Jake Edwards, we'll see Adam Hughes circulate back in, and when you can't make mistakes when you're racing against these sorts of guys, you can make those micro mistakes. It's a mistake that's going to cost you half a tenth of a second at most. You can't make any more than that. So.
I could say, that you, Doug tells me that you've already sort of got one eye on. No, how many points is it? About 3, is it, separating you guys?
It's going to be 3 points. Yeah, so it was 14 points prior to tonight, and with the points total that Greg Barber's done, it should come down to 3 points. But that's I've just got one of those brains for those sorts of things. Like, for me, it's I've got to have a target to go and chase, and whilst ever I've got that target to go and chase, I drive better. So.
And maybe a bit more of a watch on your mirrors as we come into the end of the championship with a few of those other faster guys coming back in.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's going to be tricky. Obviously, Dylan Tabono and I have had a few tangles a few weeks in a row over the last couple of races, so that's something I've got to manage now. And it is going to become race management. We saw last time out at Sandown that I think which is where we're heading next week. I think the Velocity just handled the curbing there so much better. So stick it on pole and qualifying, and then defend it down to turn number 1. I've figured out the starts now. I figured out how to release the clutch and what clutch pressure I've got to be holding, but now I've just got to go through the motions and I've got to catch it. There was a great conversation actually whilst we're waiting to be interviewed between Doug and I, and he said, "Oh, look, your initial launch was terrible, but you pulled it back in that second half." So, a lot of work's gone into that.
Funny, you said you worked on your start, but it looked like it bogged down, but then it took off, and was that the secret?
I didn't feed it out quick enough. The Veloster, when you get to about 10 to 15% on the clutch pressure on the launch, it just never bogs. But the problem was I wasn't getting to 10 to 15% initially quick enough, which is why Doug launched better, because he was getting lower into that clutch range a lot quicker. So his initial jump was better, but then they bog. And conversely, it's normally the other way around. Normally, when you just sort of release that clutch really quickly, they bogs, and that's where you go nowhere. So, it's interesting now having sort of two phases to the start and figuring those sorts of things out. It's real fun sitting down and working on the car. This is what I used to do for the Legacy Porsche Cup car. I used to be really, really good in those starts as well. So, just more skills, more drills, keep working through things, and next week, less mistakes. So.
Obviously, we saw you go off at the end, Scotty. I'm sure you would have been gutted because I've definitely raced with you. And I'm sure you were gutted.
Oh, look, like I said, pushing hard. I was of the impression that, we have a look at what happened with Dylan DeBono and I last week. DeBono underfueled by a significant amount. And when I looked at the pit lane transit times, that's what was going through my head. I think Matty Gerard may have underfueled here. So I've got to put myself in a position, should he run out, that I can win the race here. So that was the only sort of thing. There was enough of a margin back to fourth place, and wasn't too worried about that. So I was always confident I could come away and just push the margin too far. That's racing. Made a mistake, and Brad was there to clean up the marbles.
All right, boys. Well, we're just starting to get the qualifying for the F3s coming up, so we're going to have to cut it short for you, Scotty, but well done again tonight. I'm sure you've got plenty of sponsors clamoring to get on the side of your car, so you better tell us all about them.
Yeah, big shout out to DSL Welding Services and the Paw Patrol. Hopefully we see more of those guys out on track again next season. I really want to see, Paul Gerlin, Deacon, and Caleb, I think the third one is, all back out on track again. Those guys were absolutely awesome. Great characters, really good to see around the league. Toyo Sim, Racecraft Simulations, Dragon RC, Melville Equipment Corporation, and coming soon, fingers crossed, the Rattlegun rank and Rattlegun that you can get from Warren and Brown Tools. I'm sticking with that. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah, hoping so. Yeah.
Oh, you have to get your wallet out to get it on the side of the car, buddy. But good luck. Well done tonight, and good luck for the championship. It's going to be a close one. We're going to keep a great watch on it, mate.
Mate, it's been awesome. How good's the racing?
Yeah, it is, buddy. Well done. Alrighty, well, we better go to a quick intermission and transfer over to the F3s, because they are out and qualifying is beginning for our mini enduro tonight, a 60-minute race coming up for you on SRW TV. SRWTV sim racing fans. We are in the qualifying session for tonight's mini enduro for the F3s here at Winton. It's going to be an awesome race. We talked about curbs for the TCRs, buddy. Curbs, Connor, for the F3s, they are a no-no.
Oh, mate, you can't even touch them. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how much you can't even touch them, especially about an hour worth of racing. That's a lot. So it'll be interesting what everyone's energies will be like at the end of the race, and see what everyone's stamina's like to concentrate for this hard for this long. Should be good.
It's an enduro, buddy. So 60-minute race, 15-minute qualifying. Unlike the qualifying for our TCRs, this will go right to the end. So as long as you start that last lap before the clock hits 0, you are right to keep going. We're about halfway through, and at the moment it is Scott Barton sitting on top of the pile with a 1 minute 12.42. 200ths of a second behind him, Daniel Byrne just put in a 1 minute 12.44, and then it's 300ths of a second back to Adam Simpson. So 500ths of a second separating the top three at the moment, buddy.
Yeah, it's not much at all. Should be good.
And another 500ths back to Matty Jones in fourth. So
Yeah, it's good to see the last couple of weeks we've had some interesting people have been challenging Matty Jones recently.
It's great.
So
It
it's
is
been
great
really
to see,
good.
isn't it? Yeah, look,
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the timing here at the moment, and we've got to go down to like 17th or 18th position before there's a second separating the times out there. So
Yeah.
it is close.
It is definitely close. It's good to see too. So
On board with Matty Jones here. I'm looking to see how he handles the curbs here. Oh, okay, right away from then. You don't want to go over. The supercar, you put the tyres in the middle of those two curbs. So obviously for the F3, you stay away from it. Yep, cut the corner there. That works. Run wide. This is where this car would come into its own around here, buddy. You full throttle for half of the
Definitely.
corner.
you can't hit those curbs though. So if you hit those curbs, that front axle is going to rip out the front axle will rip out of this car. So that'll be never good. So yeah, definitely just stay away from them and keep that stamina up for the end of the race.
Matty is pushing hard. As you can see here, the car oversteering. He's turning it more than it wants to point. But he is pushing hard. Scott Barton in front of him at the moment. So that's, these are the top two times at the moment. And they're pushing each other. And Matty might be benefiting from a tow here.
Yeah, he definitely will. That'll be a really big toe, and Matty probably go up the top here. Yeah, P2. Yep. So kind of expected that, a bit of a toe.
Oh, there he's gone in.
Got him
Yeah,
up.
he's gone straight to the top with the 1 minute 12.3 now. So that's 600ths of a second in Matty's advantage now. So
Yeah.
we're talking hundredths here, buddy. Not even tenths. We're talking hundredths.
Yeah,
The
it's crazy.
first three times are all showing a gap of 0. So, sorry, I should say Scotty Barton and Daniel Byrne with almost the identical time there.
Oh,
But-
Scotty's actually P2, sorry.
yeah, that's right.
And Matty Jones is P1. So yeah, there you go.
So we've got to go down to Jeff Thomas in 12th before Timothy Schmalenberg in 13th before we get a time outside the 1 minute 12. So, and in just saying that, who's that's just jumped up? Matthew Pignard has jumped up into P5, I think, with a 1 minute 12.48 there.
Yeah, Matthew Pignard has really had a lot of pace recently, and it looks like he's got the front right of his wings broken there on the front of the car. But yeah, it's I think a lot of people would be working on setups and just how the car feels around here. So yeah,
See
Oh,
there,
yeah.
step in the
imagine
rear
them
end.
practicing.
Jeff Thomas, one of the JWM Motorsports machines. And then one of his teammates has looped it round there as well. Jeff Thomas with a 1 minute 12.5, so he was running in P12, 13 there. He's now jumped up into P6 with a great lap, and he's a 10th off pole at the moment, and he's in 6th.
Yeah, it's just
because
crazy.
Adrian Loretti's just pipped him as well. So it is super tight, mate.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy tight. So it's good. Like I said, it's good to see, people bringing in Matty Gerard. Not Matty Gerard, Matty Jones. Bringing it up the field, and Matty Jones just done another good lap there. Just beating it by 100th.
Was it 11.97? Yep.
Oh yeah.
So he's the first man to go under 12s, and that one wouldn't have been that one. I don't think he had a toe for that lap, so that's just sending it and finding that it's stuck in a few places. Like, wow.
Yeah, it'd be him pushing. It'd be pushing hard and not having any errors in the lap. I mean, we heard Scotty saying you just have to have no mistakes, and in these kind of fields, you just can't make a mistake. That you lose even 3 tenths. That will really affect you.
When it's this close, these guys are pushing so hard, and I struggled to put a good qualifying lap in. I shocked myself a few weeks ago when I put a really good volley in. I think in Indianapolis, and that's the first decent one I've had for a while. And it's very much an art form of being able to not only drive the car, fast and consistent, but then be able to step it up and push those boundaries and find the level at the edge of the grip. And these guys keep doing it week after week. That's why they're winning races, mate.
Yeah, and I mean, we talk about Matty Jones all the time, and he's always just helping all the guys to get on that pace. And the other thing too is like we see Matty Jones actually teaching all these people some trades of all the stuff. So yeah, I mean, like I said about the pace.
Yeah, it's no secrets in sim racing at this level anyway. We're one of the great things about the sim racing community, man. Like I probably did the same as a lot of other guys. Jumped on, watched a heap of videos. I when I first joined Assetto Corsa, I took a year before I did any online racing. And then I got there and found out how crap it was. So, eventually found myself in iRacing, and it takes time to get up to speed, regardless of your level of ability. But the great thing is we've got this great communities of people that are out there that are going to help you, find pace, join teams, build communities. That's what it's all about. And SRW TV, here, all of us here at Sim Racing World, that's what it's about. We're racing 6 nights a week at the moment, so it's crazy. Broadcasting every night, and it's all about giving our drivers the limelight. Get out there, have some fun, boys, and show us what you got.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, it's no secrets. If you go up to the top level, it's no one shares anything, doesn't do anything. But especially, I've been at that level before, and yeah,
as soon as you put money involved, you start getting to that upper echelon. That's the advantage. Look at F1, and McLaren got in big trouble for stealing documents many years ago of Ferraris, I think it was. They copped a massive fine. But everyone's looking for that little edge. But here, we're looking for great racing. And, Matty would love it if the whole field was his pace. Because he'd be battling hard. He'd love it. So if he can impart a bit of knowledge and get some people up to speed and we can have better racing, I'm all for that. I'm sure he is too.
Yeah, we're for it too, because we get a better com box, basically.
That's it, mate. And look at that. We missed it, but Adam Simpson has put in a 1 minute 12.31, 1/100th of a second. He's pipped Matthew Pignata for the front row of the grid alongside Matty Jones. 1/100th. 1/100th.
Yeah, Adam Simpson. It's good to see him up there. He was he's had a couple of shocking races, just getting a bit of contact. But yeah, look at him now. He's definitely up there now, and yeah, he'd be very happy with that.
I keep telling him the problem is there's no piranha on the car, mate. So how are they gonna treat him like a fishing motorsports runner without a piranha? You know?
Yeah, I mean, it does have a piranha on there somewhere, but yeah, definitely not wrong in a way. But yeah, it's just about being up there and just slowly
He loves his racing, and Adam's a hard and awesome racer. And great to see him up the front there. So, well, there we have our grid for our feature race tonight for the F3s. It is Matty Jones for performance, the Precision Performance Shop in P1, Adam Simpson for Fishing Motorsports in P2, Matthew Pignata, Alpha Venturi Racing, great to see him up near the pointy end of the grid, Scott Barjan for After Dark Sim Racing. Scott's had a few sort of incidents that he's got caught up with, pretty much not his fault, so he's now at the pointy end as well. Daniel Byrne for Kitten Racing number 2, pipping the Kitten Racing boss Adrian Loretti. David Gallo for Kitten number 3, so we got a pack of kittens there in the middle, and Jeff Thomas for JWME Motorsports alongside him in P8. Troy Durley for Team 3. Great to have Troy back. I think he was away last week, and he's back on the grid. Martin Lofthouse, apologies, Martin, for JWME in P10. We've got Andrew Lydon back in P11. Not used to seeing you back there, Andrew. Maybe not his favourite track. John King for JWME Motorsports in P12. Bruce Medding for 1-9. Brad Hudson for JWM in 14th. Timothy for JWM as well. Steve Tonkin, all the JWM boys here. Thomas Sanderson for Alpha Venturi Racing. Danny Matisic, and I've still probably got that name wrong again, Danny. So Matesic, thank you, Toddy. Toddy's covered me. So Danny Matesic, and our safety car and race controllers at the back of the grid there. Connor, I got through it all before the lights come on.
Word on, mate.
I normally in GT3s, because we've got 40 cars, I just go top 10 and that'll be it. Go, lights are up, all ready for it.
Missing off the grid. Who's that missing off the grid?
Oh, we're out, lights are gone.
That's Scotty Barjan missing from the grid.
Adam Simpson having a good run. Matty Jones has just pipped him in front of him. Adrian Loretti's right there as well. But yeah, unfortunately we didn't see Scotty Barjan there. I don't know why he hasn't been there. The Kitten car's just coming into line. The JWM car's just getting into line as well. One of them actually tried to go up the inside, one of the Kittens. But there's Steven Sinkovich. But there's Scotty Barjan. That's
he was pit lane start for, I think that might have been a penalty for contact during qualifying.
Oh, would have been too, because there was a bit of contact with Bryce Mannings and him. So yeah, wow.
Okay, so that's it. Well, it's Matty Jones leading the field away. Adam Simpson, so P1 and 2 on the grid, have retained that position. Matty Pignata, Daniel Byrne, he's up a spot. Adrian Loretti's up a spot. David Gallo's up a spot. Martin Lofthouse up a couple of spots. Bryce Medding back in 10th. He's up 3 spots, so he took a nice advantage there at the start. But yeah, we can see the guys now. Cold tyres, TCRs, we saw the car slide around at the start of the race. Very much the same for these F3s, buddy. Takes a few laps for the tyres to get up to temp.
Yeah, it does. It takes a good 4 laps just to get the tyre temper up there, because yeah, I've been doing a lot of racing in these things recently, and yeah, it's just getting that tyre temp there. For the first 2 laps, it's just so sketchy. You can see just someone locking up there. The tyres will just be that cold, and well done for Bryce to move up there. He's been doing a lot of practice in the F3, trying to get up there. Had a bit of contact in the background there, so I wonder where that is. John King. Oh, John King, look at that. Oh,
there's a bit of bent up wing there at the front there, so something's happened.
Hang on, so that's Bryce Mannings. So that's the lock up. Oh,
curb. That's hurt the car. That would have broken the underside of that car too, buddy. So he's going to hopefully try and limp this around so he can get into the fuel window. And oh no, so Toddy's saying Thomas Sanderson, these JW, those times there, Connor. So these guys were doing low 12s and even at 11 from Matty Jones in the qualifying. Full fuel on and cold tyres. These guys are in the 13s, the 14s and the 15s. Oh, big lock up there from Adam Simpson. He's gone deep, but Matthew Pignata not close enough to take advantage of that at this point in time. Though gives Matty Jones a little bit of a breather.
It does. He can pull out a bit of a gap here. That's where you take your opportunities and go, yep, I'm going to take that. And I've been doing a lot of F3 racing, like I said, and if there's an opportunity, you just got to take it. It's not like the supercar where you go, oh, nah. Like, if there's an opening, you just need to go for it because it's so hard around Winton with an F3. You know, you can't have any damage on it. So, you know, if you can just get the car up there, it's always good to do that.
Well, I know one of our drivers has had to succumb to his real-world injury and thought better of racing here in Winton tonight. Darren Fahey, one of the Kittens Motorsports machines, he broke a finger a few weeks back and he's raced the last couple of races with that broken finger. It hasn't healed the way he would like it, and he's had to sort of give away tonight. So is that because of the nature of this place, you know, driving a Formula 1 car, one of those GT Formula wheels with a broken finger, that wouldn't be very fun.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be at all. I've got a GT rim and you put your finger in it, and if that wheel had, you know, you had to catch it, that finger would be gone, especially with the injury he's done. So, yeah, it'd be unfortunate if he broke it anymore, wouldn't you think, Harry?
Oh, well, I've got one of those wheels for my direct drive as well, buddy, and the first thing you learn with them is if you hit wall or contact, you know, if it's contact with a car, you might get away with it, but if you're going off to the wall, just let go of the wheel.
Yep, 100%. Scotty Barton on screen here, he's made up a few positions here, so a bit unfortunate him starting at the start, but he had a bit of contact with Bryce Meddings in the qualifying. So he's just started at the back, working his way up. I was racing with Scotty Barton not too long ago in F3s, shocker. And
that's great. Great to have Scotty with us. I know you're one of the After Dark sim racing boys, and you know, is always a fierce competitor and a great driver. And you know, he's got it all in front of him here. So if he's going to pull off a great position tonight, he's going to have to drive like his pants are on fire, I think, buddy.
Definitely. He'll, like I said, if he sees an opportunity, he's just going to have to go for it because he's got to make so much ground up. At least 11 positions, huge lock up from Timothy Schulmenberg there. It's always
already puts him, what, 13, 14 seconds behind the leaders. So, you know, just getting caught in that traffic for a few laps, how much it cost you.
So Daniel's on the hunt here for Matthew Pignata. Daniel's been doing really well. He's been one of the top Kitten cars here. So Kitten Cars 2. He's been doing really well. He's been looks like he's been doing a lot of practice and putting a lot of time into it. All the Kitten cars actually. All I feel like this is all they drive, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, talking with the boys, I tend to try and have a chat to the boys after the race, and they find it hard to get together for the big communal sort of practice sessions, but they try and work on the setups earlier in the week so that everyone's got plenty of time to get in their own practice and that. So where they can't get together, they're working as a team. They're, you know, improving the setups, all the stuff you got to do, and you know, that's why we see them up the front. You know, so many times. We're a little bit loose there from Matthew Pignata as Daniel Byrne closing in on him here. And yeah, so no Darren Fahey tonight, unfortunately, for the Kittens boys. But I'm just having a look at the season standings at the moment, and it is Matty Jones who's got a 53-point lead over Adrian Loretti at the moment from Kittens, and Martin Lofthouse for JWM. He's running third in the championship at the moment. He's at, what, 48 points behind, and then there's a 50-point gap back to Matthew Pignata. So it's starting to space out at the front. But Martin Lofthouse, in his first season here at SRW for JWME Motorsports, P3 in the championship. How good's that?
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad, but you know, having a debut at a different league, it's always good. You know, you know, debut yourself, and Scotty Barton just going in the pits there, seeing on screen.
He's had a crash, Toddy has said. So can we see what is he just bended into the pit lane there, or is it beforehand, buddy? Oh, let's have a look. We'll see what happened to Scotty here. He's locked up. No, he's just gone straight into the pit bay. So this might be more strategy related. Now, think about, so it is a 60-minute race tonight. 25% limit on the fuel for these cars. So I get the feeling that it's going to be another night where we're looking at maybe a 3-stopper, Connor.
Yeah, it definitely could be. I mean, it's a very small fuel tank tonight. So yeah, definitely that brings a lot of strategy into it. But yeah, it'll be hard for all those guys out on track to really try and get good pit stops.
Well, that makes it interesting. So, you know, Scotty, is he trying to get himself out of that a tow? You know, I mean, we talk about the tow being powerful down the straight and that, but then in these cars, the reverse of that is true. When you're stuck in behind someone, you don't have that front aero, and the car doesn't want to grip as much. You get more understeer, and therefore you got to go a bit slower. So it's a double-edged sword when you're in a bit of a battle pack.
It is, and like I said, I've been doing IndyCar and F3s with Bryce, and yeah, you do the IndyCars with the F3s. You know, in the IndyCar it's so much worse than the F3, but even in the F3 we're at Long Beach, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, you just get a bit of, you know, aero wash, and you just be like, oh, hang on, I had no grip there.
Well,
So,
look,
yeah.
it's possible that we missed a bit of damage for Scotty too, and I mean, by the, you know, we know these cars, the bottom of the car is just as important as the other the wings on it as well. So he might have run over one of those curbs and damaged the bottom of the car, the diffuser, and was losing speed. So pit early, get that fast repair happening, and get back on it.
Yeah, it could be the same with Bryce. He's been kind of dropping off a little bit, but from the back of the pack, or he could just have no damage. But all good there. But
Those curb strikes, man, and you know we're not necessarily looking for the car bouncing in the air like we saw. Was that John King that had the moment just at the spot we just passed? You know, but you know, just hitting the curb the wrong way. You know, we know that you cop a bit of damage on your diffuser in this car, and that's a second a lap gone.
yeah, exactly.
Everything has got to be in pristine condition to work well on these things. And so what he's showing us here, so this is Steve Tonkin. And okay, that's a pretty good recovery. Unlucky Steve, because the first thing he did is he almost ran up the back of his teammate there, and he avoided that beautifully. And it was probably that, you know, that knee-jerk reaction that cost him that spin as well, really. So a bit unlucky there, but that car looks nice and clean, and we are only 11 minutes into a hour-long race, so plenty of time left to make up for that.
Yeah, and the other thing too is having that floor damage can definitely affect you. And with Matty Jones just laying out the field there, hitting in the back of your teammate. I did that to the other day with Jake, and I tell you what, it wasn't a fun time. I tell you that, and I've been still getting crap for it. So
you're not allowed to hit your teammate.
No.
Tyson came into the box and got up Harry and I for battling at Fuji in the V8s. So team bosses don't tend to like those things.
Oh, team boss didn't really care, but Jake really cared. So yeah, sorry Jake. But anyway, on board with Daniel here. Great shot from Toddy here, just on the right hand shoulder.
This is nice and close here, because Matty Jones hasn't skipped away. He's got a couple of seconds now on Adam Simpson, but Matthew Pignata and Daniel Byrne, they're staying with this group at the moment. So, you know, there's some good driving. Daniel, the lead kitten at the moment, so perhaps he'll get the pat on the head at the end of the night, or they'll ruffle up his fur. He's having a good run. Yeah, Toddy just laughing at my puns there, guys. Of course, Stephen. Yeah, he started from pit lane and made it, so it's great to see Stephen made it onto the grid. I thought I saw a white SRW machine out there, so my eyes weren't playing tricks on me. Probably knowing Stephen, he's had very little practice, just jumped straight in and he's driving. But so far, it is Steven Sinkovich we're watching, not Steven Spinovich.
Oh, I've been calling that him all week.
Okay, so Toddy's just doing Stephen a favour there. And Matty Jones pitting now, so this is lap 12, 14 minutes into the race, and we've seen the leaders
Top-
all coming
top
in. So that's that fuel. There's that fuel limit we were looking for, Connor. So 12 laps seems to be about the number.
Yeah, it seems like it. And just having a look at
Well,
Scotty
I'm
for a sec.
expecting Scotty Bargen to continue by. Who else is that going
Lap
by there
7.
at the moment? Oh, Timothy Schmalenberg, Adrian Loretti. So maybe these guys have been able to save a bit of fuel in that train, get an extra lap out of it. What's going to be a
Yeah.
factor? So if they're pitting at around that 14 and a half, 15 minute mark, so 3 pit stops, 4 times 15 is 60. So it's going to be interesting, man. I think the fuel numbers are going to be really tight at the end of this race.
Yeah, definitely can imagine. Scott's going to be very tight at the end, so see what happens there. And yeah, he might need to do another stop. Adrian Loretti on board, short shifting to the pits. Yeah, definitely short shifting, just trying to get that other lap. Oh,
Trying to go as much speed as he could into the entry.
I wonder if that's a unsafe pit entry.
I don't think it is. I've stuffed up the pit entry here before, and I think you get away with it.
You stuffing up a pit entry? No.
Well, I did it here last time the V8s were here, and I actually went off to the grass and tagged the tyres.
Oh,
No, actually, it was my official. Because it's the official, I did it in the official. And when I came in, I still had a 0x, because I finished racing with a 0x, but I had not. So it didn't count.
no.
Yeah. Now, have a look at the times out there. All these guys taking fuel, about 30 seconds, 31, 32, 33 seconds for the stop. I can't see any outliers out there, so it doesn't look like anyone's taken tyres this early in the race. But being an hour race, we may well see tyres become a factor. Oh, Steven Singovich just overshooting his pit bay by a little bit. It's not a spin. That was just a little bit too far forward, so we'll forgive him for that. So where did Scott Bargen come out in the mix there? Did Scotty pit again? So he's in ninth now. I was having a look to see if he's actually... No, he pitted lap 7, so he hasn't gone into the pit since. So that little counter strategy playing dividends for him at the moment. So he'll be hoping for a safety car somewhere to... maybe playing back into the game for real.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely go back into it, but it could not be good at the end. He might need to do another stop. So, see what
He's the only man truly out of sync. John King is a little bit out of sync because he had to pit lap 3 to repair that car. Oh, we see Stephen Tonga going deep there, and that's given Danny a chance to apply some pressure now. And yes, I'll say your last name again, Danny Matesic. So, and Toddy is telling me that that's right. I hope, Toddy. But no, great to have you with us, Danny, and I know I'll give you a bit of crap a bit later in the chat, buddy, so we can have a laugh about it. All right, he's got a little bit loose there on exit. Stephen Tonk and Danny having a quick look. Oh, Danny's gone deep as well. So that's interesting. So it almost looks like the rear of the car is really dancing under brakes here at the moment. Connor, did you notice that?
I did notice that, actually. Yeah, wow.
So is that maybe, again, and something that I'm looking at trying to implement into my driving more for the V8, and that's the concept of moving your brake bias multiple times per lap. And,
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing that a lot recently. I did an official at the Supercar, I think it was last night. Last night, and yeah, you'll adjust it. It was at Sandown, and I adjust it 3 times in a lap at least. So yeah, definitely.
And I think that's maybe what we're seeing here. So some of the guys that are doing those changes, because it does look like, the under brakes, the car was a bit taily there. That could be the secret. I know that as the fuel comes out of the car, at first I had this wrong, Connor, because at first I thought when the fuel comes out of the core, that would out of the rear of the car, and it gets a bit lighter, you'd be able to apply more brake bias back there. But it's actually the reverse. As the car gets lighter, there's less weight in the car, so therefore there's actually less friction on the brakes. So you need to move the bias forward or you're going to lock up. And for a long time, I was getting it completely wrong. Because I don't understand the mechanic side of cars, but the more and more you get into sim racing, and when you go in hellbent to leather like we do, we tend to start to have a look at that side. I know I want to spend more time learning how to set up a car, but even just understanding that, moving your brake bias, your anti-roll bars, those sort of things, and trying to feel what the car does. That's where I'm at the moment, buddy, and it's getting better. Still a work in progress, though.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned a lot of secrets from a lot of people like Thomas Freeman, and he's really taught me a couple of things about the car, and I've definitely learned a lot. And same with Scotty Rankin. So yeah, definitely know my way around a car now. But yeah, mechanically, but yeah, it takes a lot of patience and a lot of skill.
I think the problem is that when I tried to sort of do that brake bias changes and that a while back, what I would find is you start doing it and then you forget to do it, and then you've got the brake bias in the wrong spot for the wrong corner, and you've got to be careful or it causes you a mistake or you lose a spot as a result. So but yeah, look, it is that difference between the sort of the next tier up is you guys just understand how the car feels a little bit better, and you can push it that much harder as a result. Alrighty, guys. Well, we are 21 minutes into our 19 cars out on track, buddy, and they're having a red hot crack.
Yeah, they definitely are, mate. It's been good to watch. And someone just went off from second to fourth. So
Adam Simpson. Oh no, what's that? No lock up there, and he's just run a bit deep, and the car's rotated. Oh,
yeah,
that's
so he's just
how
went
easy it is, mate. That's how easy it is, though.
Yeah,
when you're pushing the limit of the car, that's why I struggle to drive a GT car. In the V8 supercar, you feel that as it's happening and you get a chance to catch it. Because you're pushing the limit so hard in a GT or an F3, it's so easy to hit that point and it's gone. And I keep thinking, where did it go?
Yeah, I mean, the GT, you can definitely feel a lot, and that's the same with the F3. You can feel a lot in the car. It's actually more the supercar for me that I can't feel a lot, just because how big and heavy it feels. Like with these things, because you're so low to the ground, you can feel a lot more.
I can feel that weight transfer in the V8. Maybe that's what I'm missing. It's that weight transfer.
Yeah, and that's probably what you're not used to. Is like when you jump in. It's when you jump in like an IndyCar or this thing. It's like it's not there, so you need to rely on other things to you more figure out the friction and downforce. If you can figure out that, you're fine.
I'm getting better at the Radical, buddy. Tomorrow night, another race for the Radicals. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
And but that's a very similar car to these. And so I'm starting to trust it more and find where my limit is.
Yep.
And it's always fun to explore and play around with new machinery. Troy Durley's having a pretty good run at the moment. He's running up one position at the moment in P8. Timothy Schmalenberg up 6 positions at the moment inside the top 10. So he's having a cracker too. Though he's under a bit of pressure here at the moment. Andrew Locke and Bradley Hudson piling it on. So this is a battle to keep an eye on.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, all I've been driving is one-seater cockpits, and yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, so looks like Matthew Pignatos, he had an off as well. No, so that's Daniel Byrne for Kittens. He's putting the pressure on here at the moment. Yeah, Matty's just run a bit wide onto the grass.
Oh, he almost hit that barrier too.
He's done well to hang on to that.
Very well. That floor would be damaged now.
And one of those things that's so hard to keep it clean. And at the moment, look, Matty Jones has just checked out. He's got almost a 10-second gap on the field at the moment. But it's pretty punched up behind there, so...
He's definitely done well there.
Oh, Matthew Pignata He's had a pretty good race to this point. Little blemish there. We'll have to see if he can get back onto the back of Daniel Byrne and start applying the pressure that was thrown his way a couple of laps ago. Adam Simpson, he had that off and he's recovering now, but he's had a pretty good drive up the front, P2 for much of this race so far. But we're seeing here cars pitting on lap 12, lap 13, that first stint. So 11, 12, maybe 13 laps of fuel. Scott Bargen pitted on lap 7. He pitted again on lap 18. So the guys that are burning fuel heavy are getting 11, maybe 12 laps. The guys that are saving are maybe getting an extra lap there. It's going to be close, Connor.
I reckon the guys like Adrian will be the winners out of this. Getting that extra lap, on that last stop, if they can get an extra lap out of every stint, 12 laps, I don't know how many minutes that is, but...
Well, I looked at it before, and those cars were coming in around about sort of 14-minute mark, the first cars that came in.
Okay,
if they can get to 15 minutes, then 4 times 15 is 60, you've covered the race.
Yeah, and that's it. So if you can save maybe 3-4 laps, and it sounds like a lot, but if you can save that...
Yeah, well, it's all going to be about, can I get that last pit stop done when there's less than 15 minutes left? And those extra couple of laps of saving might just get those guys there. Scott Bargen went complete opposite. He's gone sort of a split strategy. So he will have a short fill somewhere, but that's still that extra stop. So I don't know if it's going to work for him. He'd be one of those guys that'd be hoping a safety car bunches things back up again. Because then that offset that he's got of laps will be an advantage.
Yeah, like looking at the guys right now, they are super consistent. So I don't see much of a safety car coming out. I don't really see it.
Well,
so,
the problem is, every time we say that, man, it happens. These cars, you look at them the wrong way and they can break. You've only got to see one mistake and lose a wheel and can't drive it back to pits. Yep. So I don't think we can rule it off yet. I reckon the promo safety department machine, who's been conspicuously absent so far tonight, I don't think we're going to miss him for the entire evening. But there's my call, guys, out in YouTube and Facebook land. Let us know what you think. Do you think we're going to have a safety car? Oh no, Danny, what's happened to Danny? He's had an off. And that looks like a spin there as well, because he's had to get going again. So, oh no. The rear's just gone in. Up just the dirt. Those guys. Oh, he's kept out of the tyres too. Nicely done. I think they're looking for just the best run you can get through that section. I know in the supercar you tend to cut it really fine on the inside. Perhaps you can't do that quite as much in these cars, so run it as fine on the exit as you can.
Yeah, I mean, if they can, like, just like, one of my racecraft teammates, he's just like, got to stay off everything, and that's what you need to do. And,
well, we're going to see, can anymore. Who's that? That is one of the JWM machines going into the pits there. Thomas Sanderson, I think, it was Bradley Hudson going in to the pit lane. So, that's about a minute early, Bradley. So, he might be one of those cars that's in a situation where we saving fuel near the end of the race. I love it when strategy like this comes into play, and it just adds that extra little bit of spice and get your thinking caps happening, Connor.
Yeah, and I mean, in these races, I'm a very fuel save. If you can fuel save maybe a lap or two like that will so help you at the end of the race. If Bryce or any of the boys are watching, tell Bryce to fuel save. But it's just it's a bit of a lock up there, and one of the kittens trying to slow down. Jeff Thomas actually dropping out for
right, so look at these guys coming into the pits now, so we're just about to hit the halfway point now.
Yeah, 30 minutes in.
So we might have had some absolute strategy masterclass going on here from about half the field. They've timed it beautifully, but we're also seeing Matty Jones is still out there, Adrian Larety's still out there, Daniel Byrne is still out there. Matty pitted a lap earlier than Daniel and Adrian. I know Daniel Byrne has come out, so he's pushed a bit harder that stint. Has pitted. Adrian Larety has stayed out. But Matty Jones, oh my God, 25 seconds in front of Adrian Larety at the moment. And I would expect Adrian Larety's going to be following him in as well. Oh, he might have that extra lap. He had that extra lap, didn't he, Connor?
Yeah. So if Matty's a lap short at the end, that will kill him.
Well, 31 minutes now, so he's gone past halfway. Right, so, yep, Adrian's going to keep going through, so he's got another lap. So Matty's probably done enough.
So,
Right, so
even if Matty needs to do another stop at the end, for instance, Matty will
they're
cover.
all going to need another one, mate. They're all going to need at least one more stop.
Oh, 100%. It might even
So-
be two. Scotty will
that's
probably win.
That's the thing, isn't it? You know, can any of these guys saving up, or you know, the all little bit of action going on in the back there as they come around the last turn.
Bradley.
Yeah, so this battle here at the moment is not really a battle because Adrian will be coming into the pits this lap, I would think. But having Troy Durley and Martin Lofthouse, I saw that in the background. Martin got lidded up and got a bit sideways, I think.
I think from Adrian's point of view, you know, if he's going out for that another lap, put Matty Jones under pressure and see if you can make him have a mistake, even put the nose up and really try and get him to have a mistake even. But obviously Adrian's got a bit of a gap with Matty.
I think he's fuel saving, Adrian. Yeah, he's coming into the pits now, so he thought he could get an extra lap in there.
Yeah, he's done well. That's 2 laps. It's 2 laps
right.
saved.
Well, see, the other thing that this brings into the count too is if we have a late safety car and you need to put less fuel in than someone else, that's spots on the grid. Right, so I think I'm wondering if Adrian did a real big long fuel save there because he's lost a bit of time.
Scotty Barton jumping up to P5 now, but I don't know about Scotty though.
He's gonna sink Scotty, so yeah.
Yellow flag, sector 1.
Okay, Danny Matesic. Oh no.
One's off the road somewhere.
Bryce had an off as well by the looks of it as well. So,
Oh no.
okay, so here's what's happened to Danny. Oh, just a bit late on his tire. So he's getting out of the leader's way. Okay, that's why. Probably didn't need to go off track to do that, Danny. And this is what's happened to Bryce. Bit too much loud pedal. No.
No, just
Gone deep as well. I mean, the
Poor
problem
Bryce
with some of that section of the track too is if you get the first part wrong, it really compromises you for the next part as well. So
definitely. What's happening in 12th? I wonder.
okay, well Thomas Sanderson, he's up 5 spots at the moment, sitting in 12th. He's got Timothy Schmalenberg behind.
Oh, someone's off the road.
him.
Steven Sinkovic off the road. Spinovich.
Okay, so oh no, Stephen, come on. He's gonna have to wait for a while now.
No, that's bad. Oh no! Don't sit there, Steve.
Try and get going. Okay,
Wow.
window there. No, he's done well.
That could have been bad. Yeah.
Well, he was facing the right way, so he would have seen him coming. So,
Yeah. Well,
all right. So it is Matty Jones with an 11-second lead over Daniel Byrne, running in P2. Adam Simpson P3. David Gallo, he's up 3 spots into P4. Scott Bargen currently running P5, but he is the elephant in the room, the man who is out of sync from everyone else. Adrian Laretti, he has pitted 2 laps. well, he's pitted 2 laps later than everyone else. I reckon he played a long fuel saving strategy those first 2 minutes.
Well, here's the thing,
And
right?
we might
He's
see
in
him pushing from here.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's in P6, so he doesn't drop really far down the field. If he's... Did you say he saved 2 laps more than everyone else in the last stint?
Effectively, yeah, he's coming on lap 27
That's-
with the rest of the field pitted.
Wow.
Lap 24. Matty Jones pitted lap 26, so only a lap.
Wow,
on
that's
Matty,
so
but
that-
2 on the rest of the field.
So that's almost 3 laps he saved there. That's... Yeah, I've been looking
It
out.
costs time. This is my dilemma. Like, every time I try to save fuel, you know, it ends up being a lot of time. You know, so if you're saving fuel to take advantage of a safety car or something like that, it might play into strategy. But if you're having a battle and you save a little bit too much, then you're just giving away way too much time on track. And sometimes it's almost not worth saving if that's the case. So it's a long
Yeah, I mean,
way.
it's an art form.
He's about 30 seconds behind the leader, and that makes about 19 seconds behind P2.
I mean, if there's a pit stop and he can save 3 laps of fuel, that's a huge game. He'll easy half that. So
And so it comes down to he's done enough now that he can push from here on in. Or Bradley Hudson
yeah, it
trying
looks
to.
like he's pushing. Oh, someone's off there.
Thomas Sanderson trying to make a move on Bradley Hudson there, but came off worse than where. That did do well. He stayed clear and there was no contact. But he's now in the firing line as well.
But you've always got to try something as well. Like, you know, we see Blake Delaney and David Coleman always fuel saving. You know, they're up. You know, they're absolute kings at it.
But they do it and they're still fast. That's the difference. They're saving fuel and not losing time. And
Yeah,
that's the offset that I'm sort of talking about. And sometimes it's worth that gamble and worth that risk because that extra lap becomes so important. It's something like this. Is Adrian just making sure that he's now put his car in a position where he can push as hard as he wants for the rest of the race and know that he's going to have the fuel to get home. Whereas maybe some of the other guys have still got a little bit of saving to do.
Yeah, that's it. Scotty Bargin just going in the pits there. So Scotty, if he has to do another stop, that would kill his race. But if not,
Well, he's going to have to do another stop because it's lap 31 at the moment. Estimating if we stay green, it's going to go to about 48 or 49 laps. So he's still going to have 19 laps to do, and the tank's only going to get him through 12 or 13.
yeah, that'll suck. Oh, so it's Adrian. Adrian's in a bloody good shot, isn't he?
Well, I love this speculation, buddy,
yeah.
because it's now. Look, I don't know if it's going to help him with Matty Jones because Matty has checked out front. And
Yeah,
it's
100%.
32 seconds back to Adrian. I mean, that's almost the length of the pit stop or the total pit lane time. Though remember, the pit lane time here only counts from the hats, I think, so it doesn't count that entry part. All right. So, but you know, he's almost got a pit stop up his sleeve against Adrian here. But it's going to be Daniel, Adam, and Dave that he's looking at. They pitted 2 laps earlier than me. Are they going to be saving, or are they going to have to splash and dash at the end? And then bring the promo department safety car into the mix, mate, and it changes everything.
I think when it comes to Adrian's point of view, they've all got to do another stop, obviously. But like, if he doesn't have to put as much in, he's on.
I think it's going to be more about getting to the end. I think you're going to have these guys come in their last stop, try to get to that 45-minute mark of the race so they can get home, and without that extra splash and dash. And I think perhaps save fuel early means you don't have to save at the end. Whereas these guys that have pushed hard a little bit, oh, look at that! Oh,
The inside there.
that was good awareness by Scotty Bargin, because if he hadn't have reacted then, that would have been contact. So
Yeah, that was close.
good reaction there. But yeah, so that'll be the issue, you know. It was a great move from
Timothy
was that
Schillenberg.
Timothy Schmalenberg on Scotty there. But there was a fair bit of trust in that move too, Tim, that that Scotty knew you were there. Good driving. But yeah, but again, that's the issue is that Timothy pitted on lap 26. I'm looking at here, so he might be another one of those guys that's in that position where he can push now and not have to worry about saving.
I think there'll be 2 stops at least to go, but it will be how short can you make that second one? Because
I think a few of them have played them into a spot where they won't need it, mate. There's going to be a couple that have made a gamble, maybe hope there's a safety car, or like Scotty, who's put himself out of the sink. I think some of these smart cookies are playing the enduro game, and we all know what's the key to the enduro game. It's all about fuel.
It's about surviving as well. That's the endurance.
True, it is.
That's what the main key.
So Troy Dooley's had a moment.
Talking about surviving.
Yeah. Well, again, looking at the pit times from the last run too, and I can't see any outliers that maybe took tyres.
Mm. But yeah, I've done like 24 hours, and yeah, it's definitely survived. Oh, it's just right.
Yeah, it's just a bit of right on the gravel.
Be damaged now. Yeah. Coming across the grass there.
Well, it's a bit of the
Jeez,
gravel.
He went pretty far there. Oh, look at that. He's on the other side now. Huge.
Oh, got to be careful because if he so he's realised.
Oh.
He may well get a black flag for that. He might get an iRacing black flag for cutting the track. I had one of them happen to me. I think here at Winton too. For that, when you end up across there, copping a 40-second iRacing ban. So we'll just keep an eye on Troy and see if he ends up having to come into the pits.
18 minutes to go now, so...
Alright, so we're getting close to that window, buddy. So it's lap 34. Some of these guys pitted on lap 25, so they're 9 laps into this 12-lap stint. So they're hoping, can they get to that 45-minute mark? It's going to be close. Nice battle going on to here. This is Bradley Hudson and Thomas Sanderson piling on the pressure here. And again, that may well be another one of those things where Bradley Hudson pitted lap 24. He's trying to save maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
He's going to find a lap. Well, he pitted lap 24. Oh, he's having to come in now. So is he going to be saving all the way home, or is he going to be one of those cars that'll have to splash and dash?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think it will be.
I love it.
Who jumps in first?
I love not knowing, just spices things up.
I think it's either going to be a 2-stopper or it's going to be someone pulls it out of the bag, and I don't know how you would, but you can do it.
Look, Matty Jones made it to lap 26, and he's got enough of a lead now. I reckon he's going to be able to save. He can save at this point of the race to get home. Right, Daniel Byrne, Adam Simpson, those guys have got a bit of a cloud over their current things, so we're going to keep an eye and see if they can make it to that 45-minute mark. David Gallo, lap 25, he pitted as well, so he's in the same boat. And then we go back to Adrian Loretti here, pitted 2 laps later. So
it's all about rejoining though, being safe about it too, because obviously we have race control. So yeah, it's definitely
it's made it to the pits. But that has cost Bradley any chance of a decent roster tonight, though. If he still has his fast repair, let's hope he had turned it off for those previous pit stops. Otherwise, he might be parking this one up for a while. Oh, there it is. Well, we're seeing the cars coming in now, just at that 45-minute mark. So, who's that coming into the pits? Andrew Light and Thomas Sanderson came into the pits there. So those guys, they might have just snuck up. All the cars continuing on another lap, though. That's getting them closer. So we've got cars that are pitted on lap 37 now. Daniel Byrne, Adam Simpson, David Gallo all did their pit on that last lap. They're going to be saving or going to have to splash. Oh, it's going to be interesting. Having a look at John King here at the moment. The leader, Matty Jones, coming up behind him. And Matty's found a whole heap of traffic here. Not much he can do about it. We see Stephen getting out of the way there. That would have cost Matty a bit of time, but mind you, he's got time to burn at the moment by the looks of it. And I feel John will let him through up the end here. Oh. Holding his own.
I think Matty does have this in the bag at this point, just because he's
is Matty Jones coming into the pit now. He's made it to that all crucial point. I think you're right. And Adrian already, so I think Matty's probably timed it perfectly. I reckon Adrian saved a little bit too much.
Oh, you can't, never can
No,
say
but
enough.
remember we were talking about that time. It's sort of saving fuel to get that extra lap versus how much time it actually costs you. So, you know, he's 19 seconds back.
It's the thing with fuel saving, and I've done it for so long. It's yes, it's you know, something a lot different, but yeah, you got to try something different. Adrian already in the pits now, so that'll be good for him in the pits. So they only have a short stop. We'll wait for him to come out of the box very shortly. Well done to Trading.
And we'll have a look at those guys coming down the pit straight as well. He's coming as Daniel Berner's gone through, Adam Simpson's gone, David Gallo gone through as well. So he comes back out in P5, but he's got about 10 seconds to make up to catch his teammate David Gallo there. So to see how he can go. All right, so Timothy Schmalenberg coming into the pits as well. So he was another one of those guys that was able to extend it long enough to get home. The real question is going to be Daniel, Adam, David, those three there. Can they make it home? Or will they have to save, like there is no tomorrow, to get to the podium and the checker flag? Alright, well, we'll just stay on board and have a look. Let's have a listen to those engine revs, see if we can hear him clutching or... Clutch there, he just rolled out of it a little bit. Doesn't sound like he's clutching, does it? So perhaps those 2, 3 and 4 have all timed it perfectly. Oh, a bit of a moment there though. I'll stay off those curves. But perhaps these guys have read it perfectly to be able to make it home. It has been a long time since we've had a F3 race go this far without a safety car, Connor.
Yeah, it's been a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's great to see, and good driving. I mean, you know, not that we want to encourage carnage here at SRW, but SRW TV loves carnage.
That's a good way to say it.
That's it. But Bradley Hudson here has got his car fixed, now finds himself in a battle for 16th. I'm sure he'd be liked to be a bit further up the field, but unfortunately having that big moment into the tyre barrier and had to drive a whole lap without a win. So
I think there's a lot of people who wish they were up there, like Bryce Mannings and Scotty Barton.
Yeah, look, Bryce has had his a couple of spins, had his moments, but it's good to see that they're still in a battle out on track. They might be a lap down, but these three guys are racing for position. So, you know, as long as you've got someone to chase out there and battle hard with, you still take your enjoyment out of tonight's race.
Yeah, definitely. You learn stuff though. Bryce is our new guy, and yeah, he'll definitely learn from this and move on. So yeah, definitely.
Well, I think what the guys have learnt tonight is that the dirt on the side of the track is bad.
Yeah.
Because just about every moment we've seen is the guys just pushing a little bit too deep, going a little bit off track, And the moment you get out there, you've got no traction, and the car wants to do it.
It doesn't take much. It does not take much at all.
No.
I did a race at Long Beach, and I had a bit of damage on the rear diffuser, and that was it. So yeah.
Well, I was going to say, like, you know, the one thing it does show for these guys is that they are maximising the track width for their lap times. We talk about, when you first get into sim racing and you wonder why the fast guys are 6 seconds quicker than you. Well, all you got to do is look at their lines compared to your lines, and if you're not using all of the width of the track on your approach to a corner and entering trying to straight line as much as you can, you're leaving time there out on the track. So these guys tonight, we can't accuse them of that, mate, because they're using all of the track width and maybe a little bit too much as well.
Yeah.
Look at this battle here. Thomas Sanderson piling on the pressure on Andrew Lydon, the pink and white kit machine, or white and pink, I should say, kit machine. And Thomas Sanderson's got some good confidence here, and he's underneath us. Andrew went a bit deep there, locked up, and they're close. Thomas is going to the inside for the hairpin.
Yeah, good move. Really good move.
Well, good positioning and good racing from Andrew as well. He tried to fight that as long as he could, but great positioning from Thomas, and that gets him up into P7. So that's a great result so far. It's not done yet. We are still almost 7 minutes. 7 and a bit minutes remaining of tonight's feature race here for the F3s. It's our mini enduro 60-minute race, brought to you thanks to DSL Welding Services and Warren and Brown Tools, our round sponsor. All right, Timothy Schmalenberg is in the mix, but he's got the leader behind him here, Scotty Barjan. He's had to pit against Scotty, so that's that. The safety car didn't happen, and Scott's had that extra pit stop, and it's put him way back in 11th. So it didn't pan out for him, unfortunately.
Yeah, it definitely didn't. It definitely suffered him there, but live and learn.
Sometimes you've got to throw their little gamble, though, and
yeah.
Who would have predicted no safety car in an F3 race for SRW? I think this might only be the second ever race that I've seen where there hasn't been a safety car, and as you said, mate, at Winton as well.
Yeah.
We've got curbs, we've got dirt, we've got grass, we've got tyres, we've got walls. There's enough evil things here that an F3 hates, and these guys are just putting on a master show at the moment. And the guys up front that have kept their nose clean, they're the ones that are right in the hunt.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. You just want to be in that hunt, and Thomas Sanderson on screen here doing a really good job. So normally Matthew Pignata, but yeah, another Alpha up there. Good to see.
Well, Matthew had that big moment earlier on in the race, and he's been recovering ever since, because he went right back to the back of the pack. He's done pretty well to get it up inside the top 10, running in 9th at the moment, Matty. And
top 10's never bad.
He's not that far behind these cars in front, so he might see a bit of action here at the end of the race. Might have to keep an eye on Matty. We know that he does like to try and make a move. He certainly won't, die wondering.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's pretty much running everything.
Love that shot, that static shot where we got to see both those corners there. There's two good battles going on, buddy.
But it's all about...
Troy Dilly into the pits. So Troy's had to splash and dash. Look at that, it's like a leader. Not even a leader. Or what might have been a fast repair. Did he have damage? Okay, so maybe that was a fast repair, but unfortunately that puts him well back in the pack now as well. It is Matty Jones carving his way through the back rankers at the moment. He has a 20-second lead over this field, so has really sort of... he's run away from this from the word go. Perfect strategy, and has just been able to drive consistent and fast. There's only two guys that have gone to the 11s, and that is Matty Jones with an 11 1 minute 11.46 as his best lap, and Adam Simpson did an 11 with a 1 minute 11.69. Oh, it's good to see there that the back markers saw Matty there. Having a look at Adam Simpson, yeah, set a 1 minute 11, buddy. So, you know, that bettered his quali time.
Yeah, pushing now.
And he
Just pushing now.
Well, it's a podium here. He's got a 5-second chase to Daniel Byrne in front of him. We are running out of time. We're down to about 3.5 minutes left. So he's really got to get his boots going now if he wants to catch Daniel Byrne. Daniel just ran a little bit wide on exit there, so he's still pushing as well, using all the track. David Gallo's about 8 seconds back behind Adam Simpson, so he's hoping for a little disaster to step up onto that podium. And Adrian Loretti, 18 seconds, so he's maybe just didn't have the pace here tonight. But decent drive in P5. But I thought that fuel strategy was really going to play him into the point where he could push hard to come home and be in the mix.
Yeah, Adam Simpson, Daniel.
Oh, that dust. It's close. That's how hard he's pushing, mate, you know, because, you know, normally when you've got a 5-second or an 8-second gap behind you and a 5-second lead in front of you with a couple of minutes to go, you're more thinking about just, oh, keep it where it is, thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I think he's still pushing hard, man.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the race, you just want to get your laps out. I mean, you could get that fastest lap if you wanted. You know, like Matty Jones just trying to get the fastest lap there, and
yeah,
he has done that. And
11.9.
And yeah, it's good to see you know, him pushing hard, and you know, that's all it's about. You know, is pushing hard and trying to get that lap out. Even Adam would probably be trying to beat his personal best, and the whole field would be doing it. Then yeah, you go back through the field and everyone would be doing the same. It's kind of what you want to do and prove to yourself that you can go a bit faster.
Well, that's what our leader, Matty Jones, is doing at the moment. He just keeps trying to set, you know, best lap after best lap. And there happens to be a back marker in front of him who just won't drive through them, but he's carving them up nicely at the moment. All right, buddy, inside the last minute. Got to keep an eye out for Barney, the flag man. Will he wave it next time around?
So, look, I reckon you're right about that.
Has he got it out? There it is. It is the white flags. And one more lap for Matty Jones. Daniel Byrne. Was he slowing down there for a minute? I don't think so. Might have just been the way the camera angle looked, but he's coming around 5 seconds back to Adam Simpson, so that gap is looking rather insurmountable now with only one lap remaining. David Gallo just getting past, is that Bryce Meading's back marker there. Bryce is having a good recovery, sitting in 15th, 16th at the moment to Bryce, so I don't know what happened to him there. This battle here, Matty Jones in behind, and I think we've got a few mixed lap cars sort of in the mix now, so these guys just trying to get home, and I think a few of them look like they're saving fuel. Alrighty, Connor, well there it is, last corner. It is Matty Jones for the Precision Performance Shop coming across the line to take yet another victory here in the F3s, our 60-minute, 1 hour feature race here at Winton Raceway. Daniel Byrne just coming around the last couple of corners, and he'll be stoked with a P2. Didn't quite have the pace to take the fight to Matty, but an awesome job, Daniel. Great strategy, and he's crossed the line in P2 in tonight's race. Adam Simpson, Fishy Motorsports, back up on the podium where they belong. P3, great drive from Adam Simpson. And
sorry,
It's so close, buddy. So close.
I was gonna say sorry, Kerry. I've got to run, bro. But thanks for the stream and everything, and see you next time, Kerry. Sorry.
All right, Connor. No worries, buddy. We will talk to you soon. Hopefully, get back to it next week, buddy, because we've still got a few rounds to go.
Yeah. Thanks for the whole stream tuning in. I'll see you next time.
Cheers, Connor. Well, looks like I'll be handing the interviews tonight. We've got Matthew Pignata coming across the line, P7. That's a pretty good recovery from Matthew after going right to the back of the field at the start. And he's had the fuel save, has he? He has got across the line. Timothy Schmalenberg, P8. So, I don't know if that was Thomas Sanderson passing him there or not, Toddy. So, not sure. But, still got the last of the cars out there coming around. Toddy's just handling our unwanted visitor to the chat tonight. But these guys just getting around on their out lap now. Those that Troy Dooley just running wide a little. Alright. Well, there we have it, guys. There is the results for our round number 6 here at Winton Raceway. It is Matty Jones for the Precision Performance Shop Racing Team on P1. Daniel Byrne for Kitten Racing number 2 in position number 2 for tonight's race. And Fishy Motorsports Adam Simpson putting a Piranha back on the podium. And I'm sure a great result and great drive by Adam as well. David Gallo, the Kittens number 3 machine, finishing P4. Adrian Loretti, P5. I did think Adrian had a master strategy there, but perhaps just didn't quite have the pace tonight. We'll have a chat to him a bit later and find out the gory details for next week. But Thomas Sanderson, P6, with a pretty good drive there. 11 spots for Thomason, so he is our driver of the night, I think. And might even see if there's a way we can get him in to have a chat to him. Because 11 position, that's a great drive. Unbelievable. Alrighty, and then looking at Matthew Pignata, P7, Timothy Schmalenberg in P8, Andrew Light and Scott Bargen running out the top 10. Martin Lofthouse, was having a great race there, and I think we might have missed what happened to him there. But John King, I know John had a couple little offs there, so that cost him as well. Troy Dooley, not the best of races. Steve Tonkin, Brad Hudson, Bryce Meading, Connor's teammate, was having a really good showing early on, but a couple of spins. And Steven Sinkovich at the back there. I think Danny's car and Jeff's car both destroyed there and unable to finish the race. All right, we do have our podium sitting in the green room. Let's bring in the Fishy Motorsports man himself, Adam Simpson. P3, buddy. Did you enjoy that race tonight?
That was a pretty good race. Oh, apart from that stupid little spin out of the last corner,
through, buddy. Set lighting up, but we didn't hear anything, so. Hopefully you can hear me, Adam, because yeah, I'm keen to see what you thought of that. How's it going, buddy? Can you try and talk again, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. I can hear
Yeah,
you.
look, nothing's coming through, Adam. I'm not sure what's happening, buddy. I want to try and have a chat to you, man. I still want to talk about that great V8 race we had a few weeks back too. But I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about this race. But unfortunately, we're having technical difficulties there for Adam. So what we might do is we might bring Maddie, we'll bring Maddie and Daniel in to the room as well, and hopefully Adam can get his mic all sorted. But Daniel, great drive, P2, buddy. Kept yourself clean of the mischief. Just didn't quite have the pace to chase down Maddie at the front there.
Nah, Matty was on another level, but yeah, I just tried to race within my limits, and you know, just hope that guys were going to go off in front of me, which happened, and yeah, it paid out.
Now, before I continue, I want to apologise to Adam and Toddy. I'm sure that they've been telling me, no, we can hear everyone. I must have bumped my microphone, my headset here, and turned off the chat. So I apologise, boys. Just to add another technical, gremlin to the night. So, Daniel, if you can hold off a minute, I want to talk to Adam, mate. What do you think of the race, buddy? It was on for young and old early on there.
It was a good race, Cowie, but friggin' one silly little mistake and stuffed it all up for myself.
Well, we were commenting, Connor and I, that you boys, I'll address this at all three of you, but track limits were a little bit optional at times there, where you're sort of running it about as wide as you can in the dirt. It's a scary monster out there, and you found it, Adam. How about you, Daniel? Did you have a few scary moments?
Yeah, near the end, I reckon my tyres were going off, and I was just starting to run a little bit wide, and I could see the dirt coming closer and closer. And if you touch the dirt, like Adam would know, it's you're off and you lose, 5-10 seconds. So yeah, it was pretty scary near the end.
Matty, a fair bit of traffic there at the end, buddy, but you had enough of a buffer, so it didn't worry you.
Yeah, no, that was kind of the case the whole way through, unfortunately. Like, those two guys there at the end, they were fighting it out, and I had like a 20-second odd lead, so I was going to let them just go for it. But yeah, no, blue flags, yeah, they seem pretty optional to a lot of people tonight, which is a little bit disappointing, but it didn't really affect anything at the end, though.
It's one of those hard places to get out of the way if you're battling to, so I can sort of see, I can see both sides of the argument, because the problem is you get caught in behind a slower car, and you just, bleed lap time, because you catch them at the wrong spot and you can't go anywhere.
Exactly.
Well, look, Adam Simpson, firstly, buddy, great to have a fishy motorsports machine back up on the podium. Have the boys been roasting you? Not enough podiums in the F3s?
No, well, actually, it's sort of been a little bit of a lone fish this time about. Like, no one's done any F3 racing with me at all, so I just sort of plugging away at it by myself.
But they haven't been hassling you that you're not bringing enough W's and podiums to the team? Because they're pretty competitive, that piranha pond you got there.
They are. They're a competitive bunch of fellas, but it doesn't matter what position you get, they'll back you every way, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, awesome, buddy. Well, I'll think it's probably now the time to give you a chance to spruik all those great sponsors that look after you boys, and I'm sure they're listening in. So let us know who is the brains behind the Fishy Motorsports operation.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, like Fishy Motorsport, once and for all. West End Motor Group, DC Shades, Reflex Game Precision Sim Training, Infinity Designs, Battery Warehouse, Arley Beach.
Good work, buddy. So the boys supplied you with a list, so they thought you were going to make it onto the podium tonight. Nah, it's awesome to have you up there, man. And as I said early on, there was quite a bit of action. Was it Daniel got the jump on you there? And he was hassling you until you made that little mistake. So was it pressure? Was it just pushing a little bit too hard?
Actually, to tell you the honest truth, for some stupid reason, I clicked up into third in between the offset and then changed back, and it just unsettled the car. And as soon as I got on the gas, it just spun, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Well, sometimes it's the tiny mistakes are the ones that hurt the most, I suppose. Well,
I can tell you what, I never went back up into third gear in that little off section ever again.
Well, look, awesome drive, buddy, and I know that you're enjoying yourself. I had a great battle with you a few weeks back in the V8s. Won't talk about that because it was awesome, but well done tonight, buddy, P3.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Oh, Daniel, so P2 tonight, you were hounding Adam there for a while, buddy, and so are you notching that little mistake down to your pressure?
Oh, I'd like to claim it, but I don't think I was pressuring him that much. I was struggling to keep up with him at some points, and it was really hard to follow closely through those tight sections. So it was hard work, and I knew from the last time we were here, it was really hard to overtake. So I almost thought I'm just going to sit back and just try and apply any kind of pressure I can, and just hope for mistakes ahead. So that's what happened.
And a bit of fuel saving maybe as well, because it was all about, trying to do it in 3 stops and not have to splash at the end there. Was that a factor? Were you saving much? Or was it a bit easier than it looked?
No, I should have been saving earlier, because the last probably 5 or 6 laps, I was desperate. I was really worried that I might have to go in and do a splash and dash, because I was cutting it extremely close. So I actually couldn't make it all the way back around to the podium for the final photo at the end there. So I made it back to the towing zone.
You made it to the towing zone, so there's no real regret for you next week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, so then you had just enough in the car, buddy. So
just enough, yep.
Well, look, I know we were talking, I think Adrian had a couple of laps on you boys, and we thought it might have been a factor. But then we saw Matty with 26 in the middle and timed it perfectly. So we thought maybe you guys would have to save a bit more, and Adrian could come charging home. But mate, P2, you must be pretty chuffed with yourself.
I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, had a rough start to the season and a couple of podiums now, so I'm happy with that.
Awesome. Well, unlike last week, where the Kittens almost stole a clean sweep. You're the lone kitten on the podium tonight, so get those claws out, buddy, and tell us who's supporting you boys.
Yep, thanks to Kittens Racing, Driver 808 on YouTube, and I'd like to shout out to Bianca and Atari, and thanks for supporting.
Awesome, buddy. I'll come up into the chat too and give you a bit better roast off camera, so I wouldn't do that. Awesome. Well done to Daniel Byrne there, the Kittens Racing Machine.
Sorry, I should also say, and big shout outs to AML Technology as well.
Awesome. And 808, of course. Great number, mate. Had it work for you tonight? Awesome work, buddy. All right, Matty Jones, P1 again, buddy. And that one was probably a bit easier than some of the other ones you had. Boys were giving you a good battle last week, but you got clear of it and able to run away with it tonight.
Yeah, I should have been clear of it last week as well, but I didn't do the fuel numbers very well, and yeah, cooked my race there at the end. But no, this week it probably looked like there was I ran away with it, but to be honest, after that first pit stop, it was advantage Adrian. He was able to get that extra lap, and then I had to go on. Then I had to go on the big save, and I got an extra 2 laps in my next 2 stints, so that was what did it for me. But
by that time you'd built up a nice little buffer for yourself, so you suppose you could afford to it. The quickest laps of the race I was fuel saving pretty hard still, so yeah, there was plenty of pace in it tonight. And that's what I thought. I thought perhaps Adrian was saved a little bit too much, because in the end, you made it home, and sometimes it's a fine line between saving enough fuel so you can get home, but also, going too slow that you give yourself too much to do.
Yeah, exactly right. It's that first stint I sort of focused a bit more on trying to build a gap, because I wasn't really running away from Adam there at the start. He was hanging in there within second and a half, so I had to make sure that I was maintaining that gap first and foremost. And unfortunately he made that mistake, and that allowed me to just settle into a nice rhythm of rolling out of throttle at the end of the couple of straights and saving that bit of fuel that I needed to.
So that's more just rolling out rather than sort of clutching it or anything, just rolling out.
I don't generally clutch it in this thing. I normally just roll out maybe 100 meters before you'd normally brake, or a couple of 100 meters, and then just brake a lot later than you normally would.
Yep.
And yeah, it works for me.
And Winton, look, it's one of those tracks that I get the feeling it'd be a good track to drive in these, not necessarily a good track to race because it's hard to pass. But how does it feel out there, when you're trying to throw an F3 around this tiny little track?
Not bad, actually. It's actually pretty well suited. That the first sector you really have to lean on the wings a bit and tip it through. And obviously, like you were saying with the track limits, you can run it right out to the edge of the curbing all the way through there and not pick up an off track. But if you touch the grass or touch the dirt, it is imminent death. It's so you've got you've got to just really commit and just trust yourself and go for it.
No heart and throat moments tonight?
But yeah, I had one very early on. I don't know if you guys saw it on the broadcast. On the exit of turn... Not sure. Anyway, yeah, no, I ran it like the whole car out onto the grass and was trying to corral it for a little while.
I think we
it
did
gave up
see
a couple
that,
of
buddy.
seconds, yeah. But nah, that was my only one X for the race, so I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. Pretty good.
Oh, awesome, buddy. Well, once again, you're on top of the podium, buddy, extending your championship lead, but you better let us know who's giving you the support there and, who's flying those wonderful colours on your car, buddy.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, all the boys at Send It Sim Sports as always. Precision Performance Shop, ProServe Finance, Sydney Computers, AJ Insurance Services, Transform Media, and Pixel Blocks.
Awesome, buddy. Well, once again, mate, well done tonight with another victory in the F3s. I know the boys are appreciating your tutorial videos that you're putting up in the chat there, but you didn't have to do one this week. You've already got one up, haven't you?
I've kind of run out of content to make for this season, so we've kind of got them all covered. So, if anyone wants me to do anything or try and see if I can get a little bit quicker one up there or something like that, yeah, let me know and I'll do it for sure.
Awesome. Matty Jones, super coach, with a victory here for round number 6 for the not TCRs, F3s. We had TCRs first tonight, then the F3s again. Well, that will bring us to the end of tonight's broadcast, everyone in YouTube land, Facebook land. Thanks very much for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the action when we go live next. We're racing 6 nights a week. It's happening all the time. You only get one night off, so come along and join us. On behalf of the broadcast and management team here at SRW, thanks to Connor. He had to leave early, but I'll cover the interviews tonight for him. We've got Chef Toddy behind the scenes. Great job as always, Toddy. This is Cal, your average sim racer, signing off, saying thank you, good night, and we'll see you next time on SRW TV.
Much love, legends. Keep safe.